Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, gotta fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between. Yeah, it's all that, and we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to us talk raps. You're listening to us talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
Welcome. It is I. It is he. This is Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. I'm joined, of course, to my right, for you guys who are on the right, to my left on my screen, my friend, Righteous Reg. What's going on? Can't hear you, buddy. Now I'm hearing our theme song for some reason.
I don't know why this always happens. The music is just playing in my ears, like on a repeat. This is what life is like sometimes for StreamYard. I know when I connect to StreamYard when it's going to be bad, and today was one of those days. Still going, still happening. Let's see if it stops after it's. Yep, still going. Why? Please. Okay, maybe that's it. It's your favorite rap, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster. Can you hear me?
I can.
Unbelievable what's going on here. What's up, y'all? It's Grapsody. It's Saturday morning. I'm very excited about today. It's West Coast Pro Day, so that makes it an extra great day. What's good with you, Phil?
Yeah, I'm good. Rest in peace to two legends, two producers that shaped a lot of my taste in music, Nujabes and Jay Dilla. They both had the same birthday, coincidentally, February 7th, today. Mm-hmm. Celebrate them two legends. Listen to their music. If you're not fans of their music, how? How? But yeah, it is what it is. I ran this Cole album last night. I ran some more of it this morning. I was back and forth on the internet. People are doing what I expect them to do. Everything is think piece land. People can't just, make their opinion. Hey, I don't like this album. Hey, I think it's boring. See you guys later. No, I got to also come in and tell you why certain people like J. Cole and try to get into the brain of people that listen to his music for some reason. I don't really know why you need to do that, but yeah, the man, Fandom Zone, Jermaine Cole, dropped the Fallout yesterday, came out midnight on Thursday. I didn't get a chance to listen to it right away, but I did listen to it a lot on Friday. I did listen to it quite a bit this morning, and there's a lot I like about it. It is very conceptual. I don't think a lot of people are going to like that part of it. The concepts people are going to, because I feel like Cole can be very hit or miss with the concepts. I think Absolutely. For Your Eyes Only was heavy on concepts. It was a concept album, and a lot of people don't really care for that album. That's also where the Folding Clothes record is, and so I'm not surprised that a lot of people have said that this is some of what they don't like about Cole on this album. While I think this is some of his best rapping, there are bits of what he's heavily criticized about on this album as well.
Absolutely.
Some of the biracial raps on here that I wasn't the biggest fan of. Some of the there's some very cringe bars on here that people have isolated as well, which you're gonna get on J. Cole records. But I really like that since everything happened with this beef, which we were talking about before we hit go live on this thing. One of the best things that came out of the Kendrick and Drake stuff is this return to regional sounds. And I love that Cole took it in this different direction of I'm this big rapper that has got all the trappings of fame, and I'm going to go back to this small city where I'm from and Carolina and tell you where I'm from. Starting with the James Taylor record, I was like, oh no, this is dope. And like everything about it is a very Carolina album. It's very much where he's from. It's very much a rap nerd album as well. You can tell his influences throughout this thing. And I think that's why like some of the heady concepts don't bother me as much, because it's very much a salute to the rap that influenced him. You can tell that, you know, he has a song on here, I Think I Love Her Again, and it's like, oh, you can tell throughout this album he was really going back and finding what made him a fan of hip hop and why he wanted to make the music that he makes.
Right.
I thought it was just me until I was listening to Parks talk about it, because I was like, there are a lot of very Lupe coded songs on this album. And so when Parks said it, I was like, okay, it's not just me. And I think it's not just because it's the type of music that Lupe makes with like the lo-fi beats and like the concepts and stuff he chooses, or some of the subject matter he chooses. But I think it's easy to tell that both of those guys are sons of Nas. Like,
absolutely.
And I think it comes across in both of their music. The song where he raps from Pac and Biggie's perspective, that very much feels like something Lupe would do. Even like the flip he did with the Common record and some of the flips he did with like the DMX stuff, that reminds me of stuff Lupe would do, like with the Around My Way record. And so like a lot of this stuff I liked. I think the first, before I get into this, because I was going to say, I think the first disc is some of my favorite stuff on the album so far. But the problem with making a 2-disc album is it's a lot of music. It's hard to balance it. Like it's especially in hip hop. Like there's like maybe off the top of my head 4 like all time great double disc albums. Like Hove even struggled with the double disc because it's so much music and it's so hard to like edit things down and condense it. Because when you have one album, you can leave a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor. And I think some stuff on this album probably needed to be left on the cutting room floor. But again, that's the conversation you have every time when there's 2 discs. But there's a lot I really like on the first disc in particular. Like the production on it is really great. The Safety record, bro. This is some of his best storytelling. Like he gets into his storytelling bag throughout this album. Safety is amazing. The Legacy record I really like. That's the song I put in our group chat yesterday where I was like, nah, he smoked this. The Alchemist record, Bunts Road Blues, that one's also dope.
Hard.
The bass and drums record towards the end of first disc, also really, really good. 39 intro, bro. There's some songs on here that I think are like Cole's like all-time best, but there are some weak tracks on here that I'm just like, nah, you probably could have left this one off. It's cool.
I skimmed it. I didn't get to listen to it in full and do my full car test, but I got what I needed to get out of it. And for J. Cole fans, which I think is what this is, I was satisfied, Phil. I like the production. I think his rapping was great. I think the storytelling, like as a J. Cole fan, I was like, I'm satisfied. I like this. I like these. I'm going to play these songs again. The concepts, like everything about it. Like you said, a phenomenal storyteller. I think that's one thing. That's why when Cole started getting mixed up in all this battle stuff and mixed up in all this, it was like Cole talks a lot about, I'm a rapper, I'm shooting, we battling, come to the ring. But he's really about telling stories. He's really about laying it out. He's really about kind of setting the foundation of what his music is, what his songs are about. Like, that's kind of like, because what I felt like listening to this album, Phil, I've been watching a lot of movies. I'm a movie guy now. It felt like a movie. It's like him, like, it's like him going through this story, telling these different mini stories within this album. And it's like, he's a storyteller. He's making characters. He's telling them from different perspectives, sometimes from this perspective of a rapper, a lot of times from perspective of like women going through struggle. Like he gets into different bags. And like, again, if you're a Cole fan, satisfaction. But like you said, all the Cole detractors, there's a lot for them to detract in here. Like the I want to call them homosexual homophobic bars in here. Some of this, like, he's trying to tell a story, but like the way that he's doing it is like, this is homophobic. I think, like, if I, you know what I mean? Like, I could see the line of somebody being like, well, what are you talking about? Why are you drawing lines like this? But then he's like, it's under the guise of me telling the story, kind of how the streets talk, kind of what it is. So you grow to understand it. Like, I think the high points are super high, Phil, but just like you said, double disc, man, it is so hard.
It's so hard.
No matter who you are, the greatest of all time, considerably, arguably, Hove. Everybody's like, Hove's worst album is probably the double disc. It's just too much music. If he would have condensed it down to one album, it'd be one of his best. Like, that's how people talk about these double disc things. So it's a risk to even jump out there. And Phil, if you want a double conception, 2 albums, like, that's like a task, dude. That's a feat of like, oh, this one is describing this and this one is describing this. You kind of got to be locked in to really understand what it is as a whole. Like, I'm with you. My reservations were, this was a big album. We've been waiting for a long time for this. And like, you had a lot to prove. I think there's a lot going into this just because of what happened with that stupid ass battle that has destroyed everyone's brains. And I wish everyone would separate this. But even beyond that, I don't think he had to come on here and be like, this is every part of what I had to do with the battle, and here's me talking to I don't even think that. I just think like you needed to come a different way for this important album. I feel that was happening, and I don't feel like this album changed the game. Like, I don't feel like if you listen to this J. Cole album, you're like, wow, what a revolutionary, thought-provoking, crazy, the game has been shifted type album. It was like another J. Cole album. And like, again, if you're a J. Cole fan, I'm with you. But I think he had like an opportunity to gain a new kind of fan base and a new kind of perspective of people. And I don't really think he went for that. Now, mind you, he said that he's been working on this album for a long time, Phil, 10 years or some shit has went into this. And like, I guess along the lines of what we're talking about, do you go off track of what you were preparing because of this battle shit and because of the perspective and perception of what people have of you? Do you veer off that course? J. Cole's not really a veer off that course type rapper. He's not a veer off that course type guy. He's like, this is my thing. I'm gonna go with this, and this is what happens. And like, that felt a little bit like, okay, I don't know if you maybe missed an opportunity, or does that even matter? Is it like, I'm sticking to my script? This is an album, a part of my catalog, and people need to accept it. Because like you said, Phil, great rapping on there. I agree, incredible rapping. The production on the first disc is what I really got into. I liked a lot, like the Alchemist shit, like his stuff, T-, like everything. Like, it felt like good Cole stuff. But I don't know if it's like this revolutionary, people got to go out of their way to listen to an album. And is that the point?
Yeah, I think you're spot on with if you're already a Cole fan, there's a lot to like about this album. Mm-hmm. If you are a big Cole detractor, boy, this gave you plenty of ammunition. So I think we're going to get a lot of, this is boring, I don't like the beat selection, which hilariously is the same criticism that dogged Nas for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's also like, as a Lupe fan, I know certain things he was going for on this album. I don't think he always executed it well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do think he's a great rapper. I think sometimes his lyrics fall short of what I think his ability is, if that makes sense. Because sometimes he'll have lines where I'm like, I don't know about that one, Cole, but I feel you. I think the problem, though, is when you hype this album and you're really putting this album up on this, like, it's like, this is it. This is like my...
Yes.
This is like my magnum opus. This is like my farewell to my career if this is my last album. Because we've seen other people do it. We've seen Hov do it. And when the Black Album came out, it was like, it had all this hype around it. This is a retirement album. And it's considered one of the greatest albums in his catalog. I don't think this, off of like a handful of listens, I don't think this is that for Cole. I don't
No.
think this works as a swan song. I don't think that this is one of the best albums in his catalog. I think he has better
Right.
albums for sure. And some people are going to be disappointed by that just because of the way that this was promoted, the way that this was hyped, the amount of time he said he worked on it. And I think you can see the amount of time that he worked on it. You can see the amount of thought and care he put into this album. But it just doesn't feel as big as I think people want it to be.
Yes. That's it.
But I think that's also with the style of music he makes as well. Like when I think of like my favorite Cole albums, they're like very thoughtful albums. And so
Mhm.
I think this is just the type of artist he is. I think that he kind of struggles with this idea of being one of the top 3 rappers in the industry at the moment, but also wanting to make music that doesn't really, attract the masses, if that makes sense.
Right. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. It's kind of like they don't want to be commercial. He doesn't want to
Yes.
be like all the way out there where he's making these club hits and people are dancing and making TikTok songs. That's not the type of rapper that he is. And I totally understand that. So if it's like you're looking at this as a J. Cole, it's just another J. Cole project along the lines of his discography, what he's been making, you're good here. But if you were like, he's about to step out to the next level and really dead all this big 3 talk, I don't really think he deaded all this big 3 talk. But forget the big 3 talk. I don't even know why. I saw too many on both sides. People suck, Phil. There were people that the J. Cole detractors were like, he's the worst rapper of all time. I can't believe they even let him in the industry. And it's like, wait, hold on, you guys, like, relax. And then the J. Cole fans are like, this is why he's the greatest. Like, nobody should even be in the same lane as him. And it's like, wait, hold on, you guys too. Like, both sides are just going a little too far.
It's too much. Like I said, he's rapping on there. I mean, he's got some songs on there where he's going crazy. And like I said, I like a lot on this album, but if you ask me to tell you like this is a thing that you need to go out of your way to listen to,
right?
I don't know. I think people are going to take what they want from it. I will say this with the big 3 thing, and I thought this last year with his performances coming out of the beef with Drake, the Super Bowl performance, what GNX did, watching him stand on Grammy stages and be like the biggest star in the entire hip hop industry. If Kendrick's move was to prove out of all of this, hey, stop putting me next to these 2 guys because I'm better than them. Point proven. This guy is heads and tails better than them. He's miles better than them. Like, and I mean, the last 2 years have proven that without a shadow of a doubt. He's miles better than them.
I mean, seeing him stand up there with all those Grammys, Phil, and like he's not saying a word, like he's not like they're not creating viral memes off of something that he did. He's just like, no, I'm this person. I created this, and I'm here to accept my awards. And with dignity, I'm going to walk out of here. Like, he just moves different. Like, I watched the Super Bowl performance, like, too often. And I'm just like, this is masterful. This is excellent. This is, like, perfect.
Yeah.
And, like, the other guys have been moving so wildly beyond that. It's like, damn, like he did prove that this is no big 3, man. It's just big. It's me and then you guys. And then like,
exactly.
Those are totally different things. And like a Jake, I think a lot of people went in this and no matter what the album was going to sound like, Phil, they were going to say what they were going to say. Cause a lot of people are just like, this sucks. This is awful. And it's like, you were going to think that regardless. And like, do you think that's because of him backing out, or it was a little bit before that, right?
Well, I think that all 3 of those guys, funny enough, they have a stand base and they overdo it. And then I think all 3 of those guys, because of that, have very vocal detractors. Right. And Cole is very polarizing. That is very clear for a number of reasons. And I can't even say that some of the reasons aren't valid. I just look at it like, hey, I enjoy this guy's music. Do I like everything he makes? No. But I enjoy a lot of his music. And I came away from this album thinking that, hey, this guy still makes great music. Do I think it's for everybody? No. Because these things are subjective. And me saying I think that Kendrick is heads and tails better than both of those other 2 guys doesn't mean I don't also still enjoy their music. But I just think we're seeing that there's a level to it. This guy, Kendrick, is a superstar. This guy, a global like superstar. And not to say Drake has not reached superstar status as well, but we're watching a guy have his moment. And he's undeniable at this point. I was one of the people that wanted Clips to win Best Rap Album, but when Kendrick won, I was not shocked at all because I was like, yeah, it's his moment. It's his time.
Yeah. I think the one thing that I do like about the Cole stuff that you also described is the regional sound of it. Cause like, that's what makes me happy about Kendrick. When people are talking about Kendrick online, the Kendrick haters, and they're like, this is just such an LA sound. It's so California. Why would he? And like, people are hating on it. I'm like, he's taking this global, you guys. I think that's like, taking the sound that lives here and not changing who you are, but still getting all the accolades, I think is amazing. And that's what J. Cole made, a J. Cole album that's Fayetteville, North Carolina. Like, it's that. And like, so the masses can hear what they present and the masses can present that. I don't know. Drake, does he have a sound? Like, I don't know. He takes everybody else's sound. So I don't even know if he could really be like that, but just having the regional thing and taking it global, I think is amazing. Shout out to the homie LaRussell, who just announced that he signed to Rock Nation. He has a distribution, some type of deal with Rock Nation. And knowing that he's going to take this Bay Area sound feel global, like, just makes me so happy. Like, there's going to be people all over the world that know Oakland, that know Vallejo, that know these places because of what this guy does. And that's what's happening with Kendrick, and that's what's happening with Cole. And I just think that's dope for hip hop.
Yeah. I think because Cole is so attached to like a certain era and the East Coast, and having to go to New York and really get like some pub, and that's where he started to blow up. And so I think a lot of people really try to make him into a New York guy or an East Coast guy, and he's not. And he's a Southern guy. And I think a lot of like what he does on this album is letting you know, like, yeah, I had to go up there because that's where you go to make it. That's where we're always told that's where you go to make it. But this is where I'm from, and I wanted to go back to where I was from and tell stories about the place that I'm from, and being from this place that's very small and going to bigger places than I ever imagined, but then being able to go home and it still feels like home, or some places don't feel like home anymore, and why. And I think that's a great story.
Yes. I mean, the stories are so great, and I think that's where people don't understand, because they're looking for these big club records, they're looking for these big monster TikTok hits, and that's just not what J. Cole does. So yeah, man, if you want to listen to 2 hours worth of music, Phil, check out that new J. Cole album.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, there's a lot I like about it. Like I said, bro, if you take anything away from what I said, Safety is the best song of the album to me. Safety is really good. The production on it is really good. Yeah, I think there's some good features. The Tim's feature is great. Erykah Badu. But yeah, it's going to be a divisive album from what I've seen and all of the discourse in the past 2 days. And I don't think that's going to change because that's just where we are in the world right now.
What did somebody say before we came in here? You said Logic with basketball bars or something? That's just jail for whoever that person is.
Listen, man. I know people are getting their jokes off because of like the mulatto bars he was throwing on the one song, but
it's not the same.
Logic is not in the same category as Cole. No. Cole is out rapping that guy every single day of the week. I don't know what we're talking about here. I don't know what we're doing, bro.
These things are not the same, you guys. Like, they both got some cringeworthy, that whatever the bar going around that Cole has about being the best biracial rapper or whatever.
Yeah.
Awful. But like
the best rapper with a white mom, I think that's
what it is. Yeah. Best rapper. Sorry, you guys. Like, somebody said, yeah, dog, that's hard. Put that out. What do you I just don't like. there's like I wouldn't have done that, Phil, but like he's a global rapper. He understands what it takes to put music out, and like that hits for him. Like I just wouldn't have though, you know?
No. Yeah, he put out the little EP as well, the Blizzard birthday joints. Those are really good. I think that's also one of the things that people are gonna hold against him is that he gets up for all of the features he jumps on. When he gets on
Yes.
features, he's one of the most exciting rappers in the industry. And then when he puts his album out, it's such a different vibe.
I think that's a big part of it. It's like when he's like, I always go back to Johnny P's Caddy. Like I listen to that verse pretty often. When he like locks in and he's going crazy, you're like, damn, this is one of the best rappers in the world. And then you get to the album and he's like not doing that. Like he's rapping, but he's just telling stories. And you're like, well, what happened to that guy that was out battling people and shooting people and stabbing people? Like, what happened to him? He's just not here. And like, I really liked his last album. I really liked KOD, and I think he had both those elements in there. And I don't know if the confidence or whatever the what people were saying about how he needs to talk on this album post that battle had something to do with it. But like, the elements weren't mixed like they usually are. I think he went super heavy on the concepts, and that might have taken away from the other stuff, you know?
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of the big criticisms of this album, that he may have overthought it. Maybe there's too many conceptual records here. There's too many records where he's attempting to give you this deep message or this story that people aren't that interested in.
Sit down here, son. Let me tell you a story.
Yeah, like when we get to the end of the second disc with the quick stop record where he's telling a story at the gas station, I really like that song. But by the time you get through 2 hours of this album and you're all the way deep into the second disc and you're like, oh, we're still doing stories, I can see some people being like, I'm out, man. I don't need this many stories on the album.
Still doing stories.
Yeah. So I look, man, I just think these things are subjective. Like I said, I got a lot of what I liked out of the album, but I know people are going to do what they do with this.
And it's fine. It's hip hop. This is the discourse. There'll never be a rapper of this level ever again that just puts out an album and universally everybody's like, that's great. And that just not how it works these days. And like, I understand it, but the slander was crazy, and the way that they talk about Cole is wild.
I very much agree.
This is where he needs to exist.
Yes, I very much agree. I enjoy the off season more than the fall off of just a handful of listens. I think off season is one of his best albums.
Off season might be my favorite J. Cole album. Like I've been listening to a lot of the Cole albums, and like it might be up there just for how his confidence, how he's rapping, the production. I think that's probably my favorite complete J. Cole album. And like, I think there was moments, like you said, Phil, if you'd have condensed this, we could have got something like that again, but like that wasn't what the vibe was.
Yeah. Send us in your super chats. That's the best way to get your chats read on this podcast. You can also send us a Humper Chat at humperchats.com/Fightful.
Yes, we always appreciate your super chats, your humper chats, any conversation. Excited to see you guys out here today. It's Super Bowl weekend, Phil.
It is. I forgot.
Yeah, a lot of people forgot. This is and it's so interesting because it's where I'm at. It's in the Bay Area, and like the people haven't been talking about the football game. They've just been all talking about how different San Francisco is than what the internet and what the news told them. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's not a crazy dead war zone where you get stabbed by drug needles just walking down the street. Who would have thought that the news could spread this crazy propaganda?
Yeah, no, it's just super expensive cold pressed juices, poke bowls,
Boba, dog, they're not talking. People are walking their dogs. They don't got time for this. But yeah, it has been amazing to see Twitter and everybody be like, wow, it's crazy. You can walk around, the sun's out, all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's California, you guys. I don't.
Gentrification, man. Sorry. Not in certain
Gentrification is
areas.
crazy, dog. Like, certain areas you can definitely die, but like most areas you won't. Like, you just get a nice little coffee and enjoy your day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Bad Bunny performance. Very curious to see how that's gonna look. Salute to that guy. Album of the year. I believe he's like the first Latino artist to win Album of the Year. Great for
Unbelievable.
him. What a great run. Remember when the Twitter thing was who's Bad Bunny? I don't know, just one of the most streamed artists in the entire world. But all right,
Just this guy. And just imagine how streamed he's going to be after tomorrow, Phil. Like, after all these people are like,
yes,
oh, this is the type of performance. This is what he did. It's a lot of it is in Spanish. Most of it's in Spanish, but it's still this. Like, he's about to transform to something even bigger. Shout out to the homie, Album of the Year. Like, that's a crazy feat for a Spanish-based music artist to do in this climate, especially. And I'm excited to see what he does in the Super Bowl. People have been talking crazy. They have an alternate Super Bowl performance happening at the same time, Phil, because them people... Could you imagine being like, nah, we don't want that. We want Kid Rock. Like, how is that? How is that an exchange? I just don't understand.
In 2026, saying I want Kid Rock is crazy. I guess.
It is 2026, you guys, not 96, not 98. They're like, nah, bring out Kid Rock. He about to rock this. He is not about to rock this.
No, sir, he is not.
They thought they cooked too. They're like, nah, check this out. True Social Super Bowl awards. And it's like, that's I don't really know if we want any parts of that, but yeah, should be fun. Let's get into a few of these super chats and we'll move forward. Mr. Best in the World says, how do you book Cody Rhodes as the #1 guy, PG era Cena type guy without the world title, big meaningful feud? So the homie's asking, is there a way to book Cody without him being champion, but still make him the #1 guy with Roman Reigns walking around and talking how he talks, Phil?
It's tough. I think one of the things I've been thinking recently watching wrestling is that it's tough to replicate the Cena top guy thing, because when Cena became that, there was a vacuum that he needed to fill. There was no Austin. The Rock was leaving, and you needed somebody to step in the void and be the top guy. Right now, it's such a crowded roster. There's so many guys that could step up to the plate and potentially be like a face of the company type of guy. Cody can do it. Roman is still there. He can do it. There are a few other guys younger guys now that people want to see move into that mode now. So it's a bit tougher to do it now. I think Cody works best when he's trying to cement his legacy as something, because
Absolutely.
we've seen him do everything else there is to do up to this point in his career. He's 40 years old. I think that was what really made like that first year of AEW work so well. Even when you think of before AEW, him challenging for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship at All In, that's why all of those moments work so well, because it's him trying to cement his legacy and what his family's legacy is. So when he came to WWE and the whole thing was finishing the story, all of that stuff worked for the same reasons. And so if he's not going to be world champion, I think the best thing you could do with him is have him reclaim what the IC title was for him the first time around when he was with the company before he was world champion, and really prove, like, because people have somehow made him out to be a guy that isn't a match guy for some reason. I don't know when that happened, but people are like, oh, well, as a top guy, has he really had great? No, when he's been called on to have like big matches for WWE, he's been fantastic. And so I think if you give him the IC title, have him do this thing where even if he brings back the white strap like he did before, but this time do it as a baby face instead of a heel, I think that would be a great way to do what you're describing, having him be like this top guy, so to speak, that's not world champion, but can also, elevate other guys, kind of like what he did with the TNT title as well.
I don't know. I think along the lines that Phil was saying and where he was walking, I don't know if there is a #1 guy anymore in the WWE. They've created, I think it's a good place where they landed, because it used to be like we got one guy and we got to put everything around him. I think there was still a lot of those elements when Roman was world champion, and like they were just like everything was about Roman and how we get Roman over and the people around Roman and Roman. But I think at this day and age of 2026, they've gotten to a place where it's about a bunch of guys. Like it's about Roman now, it's about Cody now, it's about Punk now, it's about Seth Rollins. It's you know what I mean? Like it's a bunch of different top guys that could be slotted into those positions, and they don't, because of how the company runs and how it's about the brand, depend on one guy anymore. And like I don't know if Cody's gonna represent the same thing as he did when he came back to WWE years ago, just as the guy, because like it's not like he's still super over and it's Cody and he's going to continue to be that guy, but it doesn't have that groundswell of support because there's nothing really to get behind. Like anytime he challenges for a championship now, it's like, well, you've been champion, you've been a dominant champion, you've been all these things. What is that thing that we really say, we want Cody to do this, we need this last kind of bump to get him over? And I don't know if there's anything left for him, which is a great place to exist, Phil, as a WWE wrestler, and like solidifying yourself as a Hall of Famer of like having all these accolades. But I just think the focus is gonna have to shift. Maybe like you're saying, get back into that, putting these young guys over, get into that position, using his status to help other guys. It's about to get interesting here because, like I said, Roman's talking some big talk, Phil. Dog really came back and said, I want what I want, and I don't care who else is here to try to take it.
Yeah, those clips of him talking about how he had to get it out the mud and he had to pry it away from all of these old timers, it wasn't given to him. I was just like, boy, we are in full on revisionist history mode, buddy. I mean, goodness gracious, man. But
Bro,
yeah,
like we weren't there. We were there, dog. We saw it with our eyes.
yeah, big meaningful feuds. I think we've gotten most of them with Cody since he came back. I mean, he had the Brock feud, he had the Roman feud. I think the last ones at this point, I'm surprised they haven't done the Orton feud at this point. That seems like that's the last big one for him in terms of like, what it meant to him and being a part of a stable with Orton and the way he talks about Orton as an idol and all these things. That's the last really big one of older WWE guys. The CM Punk one, I'm surprised we haven't gotten that big WrestleMania feud yet. I thought it was going to happen last year, and it's very clearly not happening this year. So at this point, I don't know when it happens, but I think you've got a good Punk feud at some point. But that's why I said, an IC title run, you could have him do like short moments with people that I don't necessarily think needs to be like a 3-match feud. Like you can have him do something with The Miz, for example. I have no interest in seeing him have like a trilogy of matches with The Miz, but like I think there's an interesting story in there that you can tell with The Miz and the IC title and what it means to both of these guys. I'm trying to think other guys.
He's been through a lot of them. Like we've gotten Owens feuds. We've gotten like he's ran through like a lot of the people that coming in back to the company were like, damn, it'd be great for him to have a feud with that. He did the stuff with AJ Styles. Like,
yes.
he's went through it.
Yeah, the AJ one was big. Kevin Owens, of course. I think Finn Balor is another interesting one. You can get an interesting story out of that with like the ties to Bullet Club.
Yeah.
I think Oba, I think it makes a lot of sense to do like an extended feud with Cody as well. Out of all of the guys for Oba to come in and have their first feud with, I think Cody makes a ton of sense. Royce, as somebody saying in the chat, Jose saying in the chat, Royce makes a lot of sense. But that's why I'm saying the IC title, I think, would work really well for him to have those kind of feuds.
Yeah, all the guys that you just described, them chasing Cody as the IC champion, I think looks really good. Do you think, is that a step backwards at this point for Cody being IC champion?
It depends on how they do it. I think there's a really good story in there about how what we know of him being IC champion as a heel and like some of the dashing Cody Rhodes stuff and him now saying, at one point I held this belt and I reestablished it with the white strap and everything. But But, I was still being careful. Like, at this time around, I want to have all the matches. I'm not a part-timer. I have done these things, but I'm here to stay. I'm here to cement my legacy as one of the workhorses of this company. And I think there's a ton you could do with that if they actually gave it the time. It's funny. In comparison with, like, PG Cena era, I think the IC title represents the same thing the U.S. title represented for Cena in that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this could. I mean, Cody as the IC champion at the same time as Natty as the IC champion, and they're both kind of telling these family stories, I think would be kind of fire. And hearing you kind of describe it right there, like, yeah, I think Cody could make this work. Like, if anybody could make, like, not to say going backwards, but like defending a different championship, working for a different goal, I think as a top guy, Cody makes the most sense and could do it. I guess we're talking about Cody, Phil. Did you see SmackDown?
I didn't watch all of SmackDown. I had it on in the background. I've seen this clip that people are talking about, and I personally take offense to every time something like this happens, and somebody will be like, "But y'all thought." Take that y'all up out of there, because I never thought any of that was funny. No. And I told you guys on this podcast and other places multiple times, hey, chill out with this. It's going to get out of control. This isn't funny. And so now every time things like this happen, it's like, yeah, but y'all were laughing. No, y'all were not, because I didn't think none of this was funny.
Keep that y'all shit. Every time I see y'all, I'm like, nah, y'all are casting a pretty wide net here, dog. Like, I wasn't out there as one of them fish, dog. I never liked it, never was in, and never wanted any part of it. Now we got Cody going on to SmackDown saying they're having a measuring contest, a penis measuring contest, and they call him, he has the nickname Raheem for a reason. And I was like, you know what? Shut all this down, I think, Phil. Just shut it down.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, look, I get all of the jokes. I get that Cody Rhodes is seemingly very fond of black women. Black women seem to be very fond of Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
But I don't think everything gets for TV. I don't think everything is for everybody. Because when inside jokes turn into a thing for everybody, then you know where I'm going. This gets in the hands of people that don't really understand the joke or don't really understand the nuances of black culture. And boy, when we start inviting people to cookouts, a lot of people start showing up to cookouts that don't belong there, and then they start showing up with things like potato salad with raisins in it, and it's like, nah, get the fuck out of here. And it's just like when certain people start then feeling very comfortable talking about the culture, it's just like, nope. Let's wrap this up. I need this to end. That's why we're stuck with Vlad, and Vlad keeps commenting on things. I'm just like, dog, get the fuck out of here. I don't hear none of this from you.
Like Vlad comes in and he's like, yeah, Ari Spears invited me to the cookout, and we're like, dog, we don't. No. I don't think we want any of it.
That's currently what's happening with this Aiden Ross clown.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's learn our lesson and stop just inviting any and everybody in the culture, please. Just cut this out.
No one has learned their lesson, Phil. They just keep doing it. And then they come in, they piss on all of our stuff. They talk shit. They bring +1s that we didn't want involved. And we're like, wait, what happened? This is exactly what happened. We paid for this. We love Cody Rhodes on this podcast, you guys. You know, we're huge fans. Jess was praising him about the Hobbs video that they showed backstage at Royal Rumble. Cody, big deal. Like, he's been a Hobbs fan from day one. Like, he's all like, he's done so many incredible things. But do I want him saying his nickname's Raheem on SmackDown, Phil, in front of all them people? No, not at all. 0%.
No. And it's not that because look, do I think sometimes Cody can be funny and he can play into things in a funny way? Sure. But when you make it a wrestling promo and then you've got the masses now thinking it's okay to make that same joke, no, count me out. I'm good. Count me out. I'm good.
It's been so interesting with like the way that promos and the internet and CM Punk stuff and Cody stuff of like using online elements that we all know, like in the mainstream on TV and how they're received and what those things mean. It's like nothing is sacred anymore, right? Like there's nothing that's like, it's just a joke for us. No, it has to be a joke for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And as somebody that I know how black people joke, I know how I joke in offline with other black people. Everything just ain't for everybody, man. Everything don't belong on these microphones. It's certain jokes that I would make with you that I would not get on this podcast and make. And I think that's very much the same thing with this, where, yeah, some things just ain't for everybody, man.
Yeah, some group chat things are for the group chat, you guys. Like, we don't be doing them jokes and bits over here because that's for over there. And so the lines are so muddied, though, Phil. Like, we don't. No, I just don't know.
Yeah. It's okay, man. Sometimes you can keep these things amongst your friends.
Yeah.
And that's what I had said all along with the Cody stuff, because I know that there are certain black wrestlers that make the jokes about Cody, and they're saying that as his friend, but some of these things can stay in these circles. That's why I think it's funny about all the Fed talk. Every time somebody uses the word Fed and fans are like, oh, why are you calling it the Fed derogatory? That came from wrestlers, guys. I don't know if you guys know that, but the term Fed came from wrestlers. The first time I ever heard the term Fed, I heard a wrestler say it. They say things like Fed or Stamford or up north,
New
like
York.
New York. That's where that came from. And so now when I see that fans have co-opted into this thing of, oh, that's what all of those like sickos or like anti-WWE people say. Nope. Came from wrestlers.
Like most things, all this tribalism, like the Monday Night Wars, all this is from that, you guys. Like, we're just following along to things that we were taught. And this isn't even like Fed it doesn't feel like a backstage term. Like, this is the thing that only the boys use. No, this was like when they were talking about the WWE derogatory in other territories, they would call it the Fed.
Yeah, and I don't even think it started in a derogatory way. I just think that was what people used to describe.
Well, it was
WWE.
the World Wrestling Federation, so like people don't know what that is. So
yeah, and it's another one of those things where wrestling lingo has now been used by fans for so long, and fans have just like completely changed what it was.
Rest in peace. Like Phil has been co-opted now, and it's like they say
so
they changed it to uncool. I'm like, that's not uncool. Wait, hold on.
No. What? Yeah, so many words have been co-opted at this point that it's just like, all right. But that's to my main point that everything ain't for everybody, man.
It's not. It ain't. The responses I saw to this Cody thing online, I was like, you guys did this, though.
Discourse. I saw all of the discourse. I saw people trying to do there's a certain type of person that likes these Cody jokes, and I'm like, okay. I just think it's funny that now we're trying to turn it into, this crowd did this. Now, I was watching, I was observing, I saw people making the jokes, I saw the type of people that were laughing at this, but now it's turned into, you did this to us. Okay. Run the tape back. That's what I want you to do. Run the tape back.
How many times were we yelling at saying koofies on this guy memes? Like, it was excessive.
People tried to get mad at me because I said, I don't think this is funny. Oh, here y'all go, blah, blah, blah. Look, he's the type of person that wouldn't think this is funny. Yeah, listen, I'm the type of person, I guess. Look, here, this is where we are now. Look, all I'm saying is don't say y'all because it wasn't me. It wasn't us. Don't say y'all. That's all I'm saying.
Turning the age that I'm going to turn in a month, a number and a zero after it. I'm starting. This is who I am now. Is starting to become a thing. Like, yeah, man, maybe this is who I am.
This is. I said at the start of this year when I was talking to a friend, I was like, my entire goal for this year is to keep all of my arguing with people at a minimum. And I think I've done a pretty good job of it because I will hit that mute button immediately on Twitter. I'm like, yep, nope, I ain't got time. Muting you, buddy. I'm not arguing with you. I don't have time today. And I used to quickly get a shut the fuck off. Like, hey, dog, shut up. And listen, this is another thing that right along with everything isn't for everybody. Sometimes it's okay to know when to shut up. And I actually think it should be okay to tell somebody to shut up and not be considered rude because sometimes people don't know when they need to shut up. And it's okay. It's all right to shut up sometimes. I think that about myself pretty often. It's okay to shut up this time, Phil. This doesn't need your 2 cents. Some people don't really know when to shut it off, though.
I've learned that some people don't have that little internal monologue, Phil. The one that's like, maybe you should shut up right now. They don't. Like that little guy talking in the back and he's like, hey, man, just chill. Like, it's not your time. They don't have that. That's not a thing.
But that's why somebody should tell you because clearly you're not having this observation in a moment that you need to shut up. It's okay. Sometimes you can just shut the fuck up. I'm sorry.
Everyone has an opinion, though, no matter what. Let me say my opinion.
Yeah, that gets us Ricochet this week. It was very funny. Ricochet was very active on the social medias this week.
Yes, sir.
Based off of a answer he gave to a question in an interview where he said that WWE had ruined his love of wrestling and it tarnished his legacy. And people were very upset about that, as I would expect, because he's not the first person to say similar things to this. We've seen other wrestlers do interviews or express the same kind of opinion, but people were mad. And it's like, well, how can you say that they did this and this and this for you? And my whole thing watching it is the same thing. I think every time these wrestlers come out and say these things, hey, it's his opinion. It's his experience. That was his experience working there. How can you tell him he's wrong about that? You didn't work there. You didn't experience the things he did. So how is he wrong to say this is how I feel after an experience in my life? I don't know.
Hey, what do you know, Ricochet? He's telling you what he knows. Like, I don't. Why you guys keep ignoring what he's saying?
It's crazy to watch every time this happens. Every time we get one of these exit interviews. Funny enough, that was the Punk discourse at one point. When Punk did the Art of Wrestling podcast and he said all these things and people were like, how dare he? And it's just like, but these are all things he went through. Yeah. He's okay to express frustration with all these things because he was there. He worked there. You didn't work there. All of this, you should just be grateful, blah, blah, blah. They made you. They put you on a bigger stage. Hey, man, these are all people sometimes I think, how many jobs have y'all worked? Because, look, I've worked jobs where I was making really good money. It allowed me to do a lot of other things, and I wasn't happy there, and I ended up doing something else because this did not make me happy. He did it. Ricochet is Ricochet. Like, this guy came into WWE with all this buzz, came in as one of, like, the greatest high flyers we had ever seen, and he went to the biggest stage. It didn't go the way he wanted, so now he's doing something else. I think the great thing about this is not just from a Twitter perspective, but just like what he's doing on TV. It looks like he's having fun again. It looks like he's enjoying what he's doing. Yes. And I think that's awesome. People turning this into like company wars and fan wars of like, yeah, but look what you're doing over here. You're still a mid-carder. It doesn't matter. Am I more fulfilled doing this? It seems like he's telling you guys, I'm more fulfilled and I'm more happy doing this than I was over there. How can you then tell him he's wrong?
Yeah, I think that's the part that people are getting mixed up on. None of this, when Ricochet describes the WWE portion, he's not saying, I went into the office and told them they had to make me world champion, and if I wasn't the main event top guy on every show, to fuck off. No, bro was just saying, I want an opportunity to do something more. I want an opportunity to showcase myself. I want to be more than just Dolph Ziggler 2.0, who's put out there to look good. And so when he comes over here to AEW and he's doing exactly what he's showing who he is. He's Ricochet. He's amazing. He's getting the opportunities, and it's not in the world title scene as the main event. People are like, well, you're just doing the same thing, when it's a completely different thing. And that's what he's trying to describe. I saw this with my own eyes. I knew all this was like, I was sad for Ricochet, of like knowing who he was, watching him in PWG live, watching him in Dragon Gate, seeing this guy do double moonsaults, then going to Lucha Underground and putting on a mask and doing all these amazing things and becoming this different person. Of like, WWE still has a certain type of energy for high flyers and guys that present themselves like Ricochet. And at the time, he wasn't the promo guy that he is now, probably just because not giving the opportunities. And so being like, it's going to be hard for you to become who you are in WWE because they just don't do that. But then thinking, this is Ricochet, Phil. It doesn't matter. He's fucking generational. They were on my guys' back for that. This is a generational talent. It doesn't matter. Like, he'll break through because the cream rises to the top, and he's one of those type of talents. And so he keeps telling people, I tried. I went to management. I talked to people. I was trying to get myself in a better position. They told me no. They tried to, or they gave me the Intercontinental Championship and they didn't really put anything behind it. Or they did, like, they gave me these moments, but they weren't real moments. And so people being like, well, you're ungrateful. What do you know? You're dumb. Don't add other people's names in there. And he's like, well, I'm just trying to tell you what I feel, how I am. And as someone who was in the prime of their life, Phil, who was trying to create these legacies, you took 5 years of that away from him. And like, how could you be mad at him just for stating that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's his experience. It's what he went through over there. And from the outside looking in, it did seem like his confidence was lower compared to where it is now.
Yes.
He seemed very much subconscious about cutting promos, and that's not a thing anymore. Right. So, again, I can't really speak to everything he experienced over there, but it just seems like he's having more fun doing what he's doing. So, great. Also, people trying to do the, how can you speak for other people? They're wrestlers that he's probably spoken to. I don't think he's just like pulling these opinions out of thin air. These are people that he's spoken to. Why would you be so quick to say, oh, this person didn't say that? How do you know? You haven't talked to them. You don't know these people. So I don't really understand that. And I should say, of course, obviously, a lot of what he was doing, he's trolling. Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But that's what makes it even more funny that people are so gotten to by him trolling and saying, this is my experience over there. And it's like, how dare you say these things about WWE? Why are you trying to come out and do this smear campaign against WWE? I'm sorry, is there a shortage of people telling you how great WWE is or how great it is to work there? I don't think there is. I don't think this is that big of a deal. I don't know why people are acting like it's just the end of the world that this guy said something in an interview and that he's going back and forth with people on social media. It don't matter that much, guys. It's okay.
It is starting to feel like a pattern. Is that a good way to describe it, Phil? Of the type of wrestlers and their backgrounds who describe how things are going over there. Like MVP talks about it a lot. And like hearing Ricochet and like, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm sensing a little pattern here about people that leave there and the way that they're treated. And it's starting to make sense is all I'm saying. And so I guess I'm shocked that it doesn't happen more often, I think is the thing. Yeah. Like I always like, I think because there was that leave a little door open, Phil. Like I don't want to completely burn down this bridge because I can eventually go back there. I think for some people that's not a thing anymore. There's AEW and there's these different places that they can go where they're like, I'm gonna really keep it real. I'm gonna really tell my experiences without the weight of I still need a contract and I still need to make money in this wrestling world.
Yeah, I think that there's less of people that are not willing to burn that bridge now. And from Ricochet's point of view, he might be looking at it like, well, I did that. I worked there at that point. Yep. My wife worked there. She don't want to work there no more. We've done it. We're ready to do something else.
Mm-hmm. And I love his wife also popping shit, being like, what's up?
Fam. You know what I think about all the time, and it shouldn't be nearly as funny as it is, but it is really funny. And I just watched this movie again recently and laughed at it. Four Brothers, Victor Sweet, bro. Victor Sweet is tremendous in this movie, and when he's in there yelling at them, and he's like, "What did I ask for? I asked for out of town shooters. Why do you pay out of town shooters? You pay them to go away." And homeboy is sitting next to him eating. He's like, "You hungry?" And he picks up his plate and throws it on the ground. He's like, "You hungry? Eat, eat." And so he's got him eating on the ground, and his girl is across, and she's like, "That's some bullshit." And he's like, "Shut up, and I'll make you get down here and eat with him. Matter of fact, get down here and eat with your man." Bro, hilarious, bro. It should not be nearly as funny as it is, but that scene has me dying laughing every time, bro. And, bro, the thing that I will take away, as terrible as that scene is, the meaning to both of these people. I was like, nah. She was like, nah, you're not gonna talk to my man like that. And I feel
Absolutely.
I feel like Samantha is just looking around like, and what? Who won't tell him to shut up?
That is a lot of her energy. She just come behind him. She like, what you gonna do about it? So what? Let my man talk. Let him say what he want.
And it's not even like she's popping flies. She's saying it in like the most polite way. Like, man, you could just believe him, no?
Yeah.
It's like, what can you say to that?
Right. Yeah. No, she's great. She's amazing. She's perfect. This whole thing has been a bit. It turned to a bunch of stories. People are after Ricochet. They are on his butt, but it is what it is, man. A lot of people feel like this. A lot of people just aren't saying it. So to hear somebody that was there, hear somebody that was in the system, knowing and going through the motions at one point, it feels interesting. That's it. Who even, like, you can't even say if he's right or wrong because that's just his experience, you know?
And even if all of this isn't 100% and he's just trolling and working you guys, that's also funny. I'm sorry, but
hella funny.
These things aren't that serious.
Because people are like, oh, Sami Zayn seemingly responds with the Mike Tyson video about legacy, but like, he's not lying about Sami Zayn when he includes him in there. Like, that's what the thing that gets, like, he included Nakamura and like, I have eyes, you guys.
Hey, man. I seen what Nakamura did in that AJ Styles match a few weeks ago. And every time we try to do the Nakamura rebrand and people keep acting like, oh, well, he's perfectly happy. I'm like, I don't know. Every time he goes out there with the effort to put on a good match, it's like, hey, this guy can still go. Why doesn't he do that regularly? I mean, we know why.
Yes.
We have the answer at this point because that's not what they want from him.
I just like, there's still wrestlers like Akira Tozawa, the Garza bros. Like, there's a bunch of people that are like, fucking Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate that are like here and like their prime and that aren't on display, Phil. And I'm like, it's still happening what Ricochet's talking about. It's not like this is some foreign concept.
Bro, when Tozawa put on that good match like a week or so ago and people were like, man, Tozawa, I was like, yeah, he been this dude. They don't put him on TV and let him wrestle. So, no, this guy has been this guy. Like, y'all just were sleeping on him.
Yeah. So it's like, this thing is still going on. People are still in this bit, and they're still telling Ricochet he doesn't know what he's talking about. And it's like, well, you guys aren't trying to hear what he's saying.
Bro, I thought it was incredibly hilarious last night on SmackDown that Apollo popped up out of nowhere. We ain't seen this guy in weeks. When he said what he said about Apollo online, all of a sudden they were like, get Apollo on TV. What is Ricochet talking about? He still works here. Look, here's Apollo right here.
Like, somebody said get Apollo, and another person was like, we don't have his phone number. Like, it took time to get, like, he isn't just readily available at the damn show. Where did they find him? Just super interesting thing that's also becoming a thing, Phil, like what we're talking about earlier with the Cody bits of like, these wrestling companies and these brands are listening, and when we tweet and things that become a thing, like, go to TV now, or like if something's bad on TV and everybody's mad about it, like, it's fixed. So it's like, there's just wrestling is crazy, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I know, that's why I said I think a bit of this is him trolling, like the El Generico thing. I
Yeah.
think some of that is him trolling, but Sammy is so different than a lot of people because Sammy has been a part of big moments within the last 3 years or so. He was a part of Bloodline stuff. He main evented WrestleMania with Kevin Owens. He's had like big moments at Royal Rumble and stuff. The only thing he's really missing is this World Championship win, and now I just don't know when it's happening. I wish that this was his year to win the Rumble, but I don't know. I don't know when it's possibly happening now.
I saw beyond the Ricochet stuff, Sami Zayn slander this week because of that rumor
Really?
or innuendo that he tried to get the match change and he tried to win the world championship from Drew McIntyre. Like I saw people being like, how dare he? Why would he ever, like, who is he ever to be somebody trying to win a world championship? And like people were talking bad about Sami Zayn because they think he did, like, we talk about this very often, Phil. What wrestlers do, they politic to win the world championship.
Yeah, I thought like that big report where they're talking about how much the WrestleMania plans have changed in the last few weeks and how some of it is still not solidified yet. Yeah, that seems like wrestlers doing what they do, politicking to get a spot. I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe people have
All
the
of them.
assumption that Sami Zayn isn't the type of person that would do that, or who is he even to do that? He's not a big enough name to do that. But at this point, how can you say that? This guy has beat John Cena on TV. He's, like I said, main evented WrestleMania. He was at one point the best part of the Bloodline stuff with Roman and all these other big stars. So, no, I think at this point, you got to pull the trigger with this guy eventually. I mean, I know he was like the people's champion. He was a fan favorite at one point, but how much bigger is this guy going to get than where he's been in 2023 and 2024, for example? Like, and even last year, the run with the U.S. Championship and just like the matches this guy was having, the moments, like, if not now, when? I'm confused. Like, I don't know. I feel like the Seth getting injured changed a lot too.
Yeah.
But what can you do?
I mean, I just don't understand because off of that report, it seems like the young guys are the ones getting screwed. But like Braun Breaker's getting screwed with all of this. But like, why don't you guys flip it where like the young guys benefit from something like this? Like, this should be the time where you go out on that limb with this young guy and try something because plans change. Instead, plans change and they're just like, let's go back to the old thing. And like that gets frustrating with WWE, who's done that about 50 times with Roman and Brock. They were like, oh yeah, this thing isn't working. Let's try Roman and Brock again. And that's what it feels like again. It's like, we're not trying anything. We're just going to go back to the well again. And so frustrating times, but yeah, Sammy slander is crazy. Guys, that guy's on my list. I would never, not in my watch, bucko. Like, that's the guy. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Based on that whole report, it's exactly what we were talking about when we talked about the men's Royal Rumble. I was like, oh, you can see the politicking happening. You can see politics in play. And unfortunately for Braun, a lot of times younger guys they don't have a foot in the room to do what a lot of these older guys are doing. And
Right.
so when they're going in there politicking and saying, well, this doesn't make sense for my character, I should be doing this or this. Yeah, they have somebody's ear to be able to do that. Somebody like Braun might not have that. He might not have anybody in that room that's really pushing for him. And I think that's what happens a lot to younger guys.
Yep. Like Cody, Punk, Roman can go into Triple H's office and be like, I should be champion. And like Braun can't do that.
Yeah, or even if you're not, you got somebody like Heyman or somebody else that
Right.
might be in that room that's speaking highly of you. And not to say that nobody in the room is speaking highly of Braun. I just think that, when it gets into the politics game, it isn't that easy to find your voice in those kind of rooms as a younger guy. At least that's what it seemed from some of these reports and things we hear. Of course, I don't know what's happening in these rooms. I don't want to make it seem like I do. We only know like maybe 20, 30% of what is actually happening here based off of what we hear.
Wait, Unreal's not real, Phil. Like that isn't 100% of like I've seen those back rooms. I'm in tune, baby.
Yeah. That's so funny because it's almost what I was saying with the Cody thing, where it's like once you let somebody in on the joke and now they think, oh, I can talk like this, or that's the can of worms you're about to get in with Unreal, where you're letting people behind the curtain in a certain way, and you make them feel like they can talk like they know these things for a fact, when it's like, nope, they're giving you the information they want you to have. This is clearly pre-tape stuffed, or this is like reality TV show that is scripted as well. And you're getting from that, no, I know what's happening in the writer's room. No, you don't. You only know what they want you to know.
Fans are so funny, man. Like, on one hand, when the homeboy Triple Fraud did the bit the other week where he's like, I wish people would just be fans. Like, a lot of the times I'm like, yeah, but like he doesn't mean it the way that he should mean it. Sometimes it's too much, Phil. It's like, damn, like we're saying, everybody has an opinion. Just watch the fucking show, dude. Damn.
Well, he's saying it in a way, I just want you to just be fans and stop criticizing so much. But you've opened the door for them to not just be fans by giving them things like Unreal, or just the way you position yourself in this company. You're putting them in a position to not just be fans.
Mm-hmm. He did this and then it was like, why do you guys keep doing this? But also praise me at the same time. But don't do that. It's like, well, you're confusing these people, I think, homie.
Very much so.
Yes, let's get into some more super chats and we'll move forward. The homie Jose Alvarado has been a member for 1 month. Appreciate you joining us, Jose. I hope you're having a good morning or whatever time frame that you're in on this Saturday.
Appreciate you, bro.
The homie, the other Mikey V, says, shout out to Brody King. The stars keep aligning and giving him moments. First in Mexico, now in Vegas, now with the Vegas squash and everything around it.
Yeah, man. Very happy for Brody King. Big statement win over MJF to end AEW Dynamite this week. I kept looking at the time when we were getting closer to the main event, and I was like, they don't have a lot of time for this match. Like, what? There's not much time left in the show. How long is this match going to be? And to my surprise, Brody King squashed MJF in an eliminator match. First of all, not a lot of people win their AEW World Title eliminator matches. We've seen so many of them. And so this immediately sets the precedent that you can win that match and actually get a world title. I'm not the biggest fan of that stipulation of beat the champion to get a championship match. But I think in this situation, it did work very well for Brody King because this entire time since the Bandito match, Brody has been really coming out there and showing people, hey, this guy's scared of me. And in this match and squashing him, you show people immediately he has good reason to be afraid of him.
Yeah, I think that continuously when Brody King would jump at MJF and MJF would run and just continuously giving up that, I don't even want to get within 1 inch of this guy because he's going to knock my block off. And then he gets 1 inch of the guy and he does knock his block off. Just a great story along with Brody King's been selling. I'm not the same with you. The world title eliminator, it's like, I think in certain cases it can work because like a rematch is better for some feuds and some wrestlers, but a lot of the time I just want that first time. I want them to go for it. I want them to do this. Like having the second match to fall on doesn't usually work. But I think in this way of like catching us off guard, a lot of us are kind of in the predictability type deal, and like this could be the same thing. Having it be a squash, having it happen really fast, I think adds something to those matches, and maybe they'll feel a little bit more important when other people are in that line. So yeah, I think that was a great way to end the show. I mean, before that happened, Phil, my timeline has been filled with a little moment that happened before their match started between MJF and Brody King with the a chant that the Vegas crowd got into, and all the big news outlets picked up on it.
Yeah, I think of course, that was the bigger news story coming out of this. Brody King made a statement in more than one way, not just winning the match, but a few months ago he wore the "fuck Ice" chant, and I mean "fuck Ice" shirt, and when he came out during the entrances for this match, big "fuck Ice" chant broke out in the crowd, and that made a lot of the big news outlets. It was on NBC. I was like, wow, that's huge.
Yeah.
But just what a big moment for Brody King, and what a big moment for where we are as Americans. ICE has become more and more criticized over the last few weeks, rightfully so. And, you know, this is what's so great about Brody using his platform and using his status to speak out, even if it was just wearing a shirt, because it's going to continue to draw more attention to it. And I saw people turn this into, oh, this is great for AEW. It'll get more eyes on the show. And, oh, this, you know that, you know, MAGA has lost people because they've lost wrestling fans. I saw that quote quite a bit.
That was wild.
But I just think it's bigger than that. I don't see this as a promotional tactic. And I think if you see it as a promotional tactic, you're really burying the lead here. Like, this isn't about Brody King as a wrestler. This isn't about AEW as a company doing well. This is about people that are really affected by what ICE is doing. Families that are being separated, people that are being harmed or killed, and that shouldn't be the subject to come out of this. I know that Headlock Comics is doing the comic, and the proceeds are going to families affected by ICE. Because I saw people also saying, well, yeah, this is nice and all, but what is AEW going to actually do to help people affected by ICE? Is it just like words? And it's just like, well, first of all, AEW as a company is not pushing a political stance or trying to get people to chant "fuck ICE" at their shows. This is something that happened organically. And if you do want to help people, it's not like Brody just put that shirt on and didn't give you a way to help, because he was selling the shirt at one point, and then Headlock Comics is doing the comic where the proceeds will go to the families.
Yeah, every time that Brody's been involved with something with the ICE stuff, the proceeds have went to the families and stuff, people affected by ICE. So that part was very frustrating. It was like, there's something's already happening. This isn't just something that's created out of thin air. Yeah, this is great. I think Brody King being the one attached to it, he's California, like he's been in the trenches. He has friends and family and people that have been affected by this. So him originally wearing the shirt on TV, I think was ballsy, was awesome, was a cool way to do it. This was incredible. I think, just like you're saying, Phil, it's so much bigger than AEW's taking a stance. They're so different than WWE, who's in bed with Trump. It's like, no, this is a group of people, a legion of people realizing what's going on and vocalizing how they feel about it. And beyond wrestling, like just a group of people in a building at this time banding together to do something like that, I think means a lot. All the news stories being like, that was the funniest bit about it, of being like, all wrestling fans aren't MAGA fucking losers. And it's like, no, there's a bunch of us that are not, and not on that side at all. And wrestling has changed over the years of who the fan base are and who they represent. But they were really trying to put us in a box in a lot of those news stories, which I thought was hilarious. But yeah, I think also, though, it does look good for AEW being the alternate company, being different than WWE. When you look over there and there's pictures with the family in the Oval Office with the people and some of the narratives that they've been pushing, it does feel good on this side. And just so much about it, like Max's face looking into the camera, how they kind of laid out to let the fans do it. Like, I just loved it. I thought it was dope.
Yeah. I'm sorry I don't have the specific link in front of me, but I know, like I said, Headlock Comics is doing the variant they're selling, and then the proceeds for that are going to help families affected by ICE. And I don't remember for sure if Brody sold the shirt or if he and DWJ were selling the print at one point. I know
the shirts were out. He was doing a collaboration with someone for the shirts.
Okay, yeah. I
Mhm.
knew it was something like that, but I wasn't sure if I misspoke.
Mhm.
But man, that's just that's Brody being Brody,
Yep.
and I think people trying to turn this into, okay, well, AEW is the progressive company, WWE is in bed with MAGA. I don't really think that's the
I wouldn't
right
say all
way to
that.
go about this either. Like, because these are two corporations.
Yes.
It kind of feels like this was a figure, this was an individual in this company doing something that he believed in, and people organically got behind it. Now,
Exactly.
yes, you're going to see less of something like this happening in WWE because WWE wouldn't let an individual just get on TV with a fuck ice shirt on, of course.
No.
Uh, and I do think it's great that something like AEW exists where somebody does feel like they have the freedom to express themselves. Great.
Mhm.
But I do think people have to be careful with trying to turn one company into the good guy in the situation because that's not exactly 100% true here.
Yeah, this wasn't like there was somebody from AEW in the crowd being like, let's start this fuck guys chant. Let's really make
Yeah.
this statement. No, it's just like all these elements came together at the right place at the right time, and it all worked out. I was a little bit surprised because like I have family in Vegas, and I remember being there during the elections and like watching Vegas TV and being like, I don't know if Vegas is I felt a little bit nervous about the messaging that they were getting across at a lot of points, and just how they move is kind of on a different wavelength. But seeing the wrestling fans get behind this and band together, shit felt good, man, because we need that in these times. It's crazy outside, you guys. Like, we get on this
Yeah.
pod and we talk as friends and talk about wrestling and talk about the happy things, but it's fucking a war zone out there. So to know that there are other people that are feeling those things, and we even have a place like that to express it on this kind of global level, feels good.
Yeah. I think with where we are as a country, it's getting harder and harder to not speak out on things.
Mm-hmm.
We saw a lot of that through the Grammys. A lot of people were going up there and speaking on ICE and the conversation around immigrants, the conversation around racism, and a bunch of other topics. And like I said, I'm never going to be one of these people that are like, oh, you should get all of your opinions from celebrities or people with a platform. But it is good sometimes when people with a platform decide to use them in a good way. I don't think that means that, like I said, all of these people are entirely altruistic. um, but yeah, I thought like specifically what Bad Bunny said was really touching.
Yep.
Naomi Shabuzi, shout out to Shabuzi as well on a Grammy win, and he used his Grammy win to go up there and say something, and then people tried to nitpick what he said, which is just like, I
Jesus.
knew what he meant, and he had to put out that statement and apologize, and I was just like, guys, let's relax. Like, this guy's his family are Nigerian immigrants. I understood what he meant.
Statements, people misunderstanding, even though they understand. It's so annoying. Everything has to be a thing. Jelly Roll got up there and did a bit and said I'm just like,
Yeah, I mean, when you see a guy like Jelly Roll and the kind of music he makes, are you surprised by his political stance? Are you surprised by him also saying that he would like to be neutral in this time? Because I think with everything going on in the world, it's very hard to be neutral. You're choosing to be neutral for a reason because you don't want to tell people what you really think. But I digress.
it's just such a fucking crazy time, you guys. Wild shit. But yeah, to know that, we come on this pod sometimes, and wrestling will even make me frustrated with some of the things that I see. To know that the escape that we have is on the right side sometimes, for certain moments, does feel good, because sometimes there's been moments where I'm like, I think I have to stop being a wrestling fan. Like, I've had that revelation before, and this was not that moment. So shout out to those Vegas people.
Yeah, man. Again, shout out to Brody King. What a moment for him. Boy, he looked like a world champion in that moment, getting the win over Max, holding the belt. He looked believable with that belt. I don't think he's going to win the match at Grand Slam Australia, but what a great opportunity for him. If not now, I would like to see him as world champion someday. I think that he could do it.
I've been seeing a lot of people off of this telling them, "Oh, you got to do it now. Pull the trigger off this publicity, off everything going." I'm like, you guys are jumping out there, but I hear you though. These are when we talk about wanting a change, wanting to do things different, wanting to go off momentum. These are the moments we're talking about, like with the Braun Breaker shit earlier this year. The elements were all there. Everything, the ball was in your court. All the things that you could have did to execute this were there. So why didn't you execute? Again, we stumbled into this wild moment. Brody King has been kind of establishing who he is and where he could go. And like, now you got this mainstream appeal, how people feel about him. What if you fucking did it? What if he beat MJF? What's the worst that could happen? You know, like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I just don't believe he's gonna.
I don't believe it's gonna happen at all. 0%.
I mean, but I also like that's just wrestling right now. Sometimes you just, timing is everything, and sometimes you catch lightning at the bottle at the right time, and like I think that's what's currently happening with Andrade as well. Like I think they've got something with this guy. I think you gotta. If he's not gonna be the challenger at Revolution, I don't know what we're doing, man. Like I think that should be the move.
If it's not the move, like in LA with the times we're going, Andrade, Mexican homie, like it just fits so well. And like, what if they went all out and Brody beat Max next week and they did Brody and Andrade in LA? Like that shit would bang. But I know that's not going to happen at all. Just knowing that it's a possibility, though, super dope.
Yeah.
Let's get into some more super chats. The homie Joseph Molina says, what was the best 2-disc album?
Ooh, I mean, for hip hop, Life After Death is up there.
Yeah, I was gonna say All Eyes on Me. Those are kind of like the same, along the same lines. Like those are probably the ones. Those are the ones I listen to most consistently. I'd say out of all the 2-disc albums.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
And still barely.
Best double disc album.
Does Lupe have a double disc?
No. Yeah, technically he does. It's not
kind of right,
but it has two. It's two halves of the album.
Right. Yeah, we talked about Hove earlier. I would not say that's the best.
Yeah, I like Blueprint too, but I wouldn't say that's like the best.
I think the good songs on that album are good. Like, Excuse Me, Miss is insane.
No, he's got like all-time great Hove records on there, but he's also got some that are just like, no. Redman Speaker Box Love Below is it's up there. I don't know if that technically counts as a double disc because it's Outkast, but it's not Outkast doing the entire album, but whatever.
It's not a cohesive album, but yeah, I think you're in there.
it's basically two solo albums.
Yes, exactly. Right.
But yeah, we'll allow it. I think Beatles' White Album is a double disc, isn't it? I think that's probably on most people's list of like greatest double disc album. The
I'm trying to think of non-hip hop albums. Oh, Wu-Tang Forever. Yeah.
Yeah. Nick, what do you call it? The Pink Floyd album is probably on most people's list as well. The Wall, that's a double disc.
Yeah, just too long. Yeah, so I'd probably say the
it's
Pac
hard,
album,
man.
big album.
It's hard. Is Summertime 06 a double disc?
Yeah, yes.
I know it's two parts. I mean, Summertime 06 is incredible. That's Vince's best album to date, in my opinion. I think the way people talk about Vince is kind of crazy as well. Like
it is.
I don't really like how people talk about Vince because he doesn't have some of the accolades that a lot of others have. But yeah, no, Vince is incredible. Summertime 06 is an incredible album too.
Like he doesn't have the accolades of like a Tyler. Like I compare him to that camp because he came up with them and like he's LA. But like he's made just as good music. Like I think his discography as a whole is super solid. And I think that's more important to me than the accolades. Like when all is said and done, can I listen? You have 7 albums. Are they dope albums? Yes. And that's more important than anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who it was, but somebody was like, "Y'all really think Vince Staples is better than this rapper?" And I was like, "But he is." Who was it? It was somebody that I was like, "That's the hill you want to die on." Oh, it's Stove God. That's what it was.
Oh,
somebody was like, "Y'all really think Vince is better than Stove God?" And I was like, "He is." What do you mean?
Huh? That's not even like, I like Stove God a lot, and I think he adds a bunch, but like Vince, they're not even in the same league. Like Vince is, I don't want to talk about Stove God like that, but like, no, you're not in there with Vince. Vince would do, come on, you guys.
Yeah,
Crazy.
look, and Stove God makes good music, but I was like, no, he is better than Stove God. What do we?
Yeah,
definitely. Where are we going with this?
A lot of the discourse from J. Cole turned into who's better, him or Freddie Gibbs. I don't know why this became a thing.
I saw that.
And I'm like, what? Why?
I saw that, and people were trying to say Freddie has a better discography, and he
has a strong discography.
He probably does. I think the thing that Freddie has over Cole is that he has relationships with producers where somebody's produced a whole album for him, and he has like a great body of work out of that. Like both of the Alfredos, the albums that he made with Mad Libs, like Cole doesn't have that.
This fool got 2 Alchemists and a Mad Lib album. Like, I mean, it's gonna, that is like, I mean, there is an argument there, but like bar for bar,
Freddie out rapping a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I think the thing I thought was funny about it is people were saying Freddie is better than J. Cole. And I was like, oh, Freddie's better than a lot of people that if I responded and said, yeah, but he's also better than this person, y'all would be mad at me because he's out rapping a lot of y'all faves.
Yeah, he is. He is a better. That's why when he was in the shit with Griselda, I was like, they've talking about Freddie like he can't rap with these guys, and he can definitely rap with these guys.
Yeah, it was some of those Freddie takes around that time, and I was like, are we going to tell the truth? Because, listen, I like all these guys' music, but there's only one guy over there in that Griselda clique that I think is hanging with Freddie. That's only one.
I love Griselda, huge, Fourth Rope and all that, but I don't think any of them have a better album than Freddie Gibbs, right?
That's debatable.
Like Pinata or
the
fucking
guy,
Alfredo, it's like they're definitely they got albums, but I don't know if like better than that, you know.
It's debatable. I hold Conway from King to a God on a very high pedestal. There's some Benny albums that I hold up there as well.
Talk 3
it's debatable.
Crazy. And Westside Gunn has a bunch of albums that I probably play more than the Freddie Gibbs album. So I don't know how we got into this damn debate.
Yeah, but yeah, when people try to do that the funny thing about the Freddie thing people were trying to do this morning and last night, I'm like, yeah, but anytime you put Freddie in other categories, y'all immediately say no. But when it's used to hate on somebody or put somebody else down, oh, look, he's better than this person. It's like, yeah, but what if I said that I think Alfredo too should have been talked about more out of last year and he had a real chance of winning a Grammy? Y'all would have been like, get out of here. Yeah,
no, you can't say that.
Yeah.
But that's real, though. He should have. Like, I thought Alfredo was a great album. And I think that's what Freddie gets over everybody is like he quietly always has the best albums. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's sometimes drama and shit around it, but at the end of the day, he's going to put out an album that's going to have dope production and amazing raps on it. And that's it.
Yeah. Freddie also won a Grammy, I believe, him and Alchemist. So salute to him.
Oh, dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super dope. I mean, every artist should get with Alchemist. Like, anytime somebody puts out an album and it's whack, I'm like, why don't you get with Alchemist? Like, Eminem, what are you doing? What's the new one coming out? I think it's Larry June and Currency. Like, that's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Joe. Cinematic says, what dream matches would you have for an AEW WWE Forbidden Door?
Oh, I know my first one, and I know somebody that's not going to be happy with my first one.
What is it?
It's pretty known at this point. Big Seth Rollins fan. Pretty known at this point. Big Swerve fan. Seth Rollins versus
Oh,
Swerve.
that's who's not gonna like it.
Seth Rollins versus Swerve would make a ton of sense to me, and we both know somebody that's would not be a fan of that take. But
0%.
Swerve versus Seth Rollins is on my dream match list.
What's the what would be the Roman match, you think? Like, is Kenny Omega the one over there? Like, what? I don't know if it's Kenny. Yeah,
I think it's Kenny.
Because that's like, it has to be like the top guy, blah blah blah. And I don't know if anybody else that represents over there would make more sense against Roman.
Yeah. It's funny because I'm trying to think. Like, there's got to be a big one for Max, and like people keep making this Miz comparison, but I don't think that's the match. Like, I think if you're gonna do a big match, with Max from somebody over there, I don't think it's the Miz.
Oh, who would it be for Max? Like Randy Orton or something? Oh God, that just made my stomach hurt. Because who could he go bar for over there? I mean, we already saw Punk. We already saw Cody. Those are the guys at this point. Drew McIntyre?
Yeah, because I mean, I know some people are saying Cody, but he's had the Cody match. Like they've done it in AEW. If we're gonna do dream matches that we haven't seen before, I wouldn't do the Cody match.
No.
That's tricky, man, because I know that there's a ton of like comparisons. Like I said, like the way people keep making this Miz comparison or Kevin Owens. Maybe Kevin Owens. Yeah,
Kevin Owens,
fact,
that's a good one.
Probably it.
Yeah,
it's Kevin Owens.
That's a pretty good one. I think because you need somebody that can go against him on the mic also, and Kevin Owens is going to talk shit about him. Kevin Owens is going to have a different angle to try to cut Max down. That's actually a pretty good one.
Yeah, that makes sense. Max Kevin Owens. Of course, the Young Bucks is the Usos.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do any other match over there. Young Bucks Usos is the match. I think Becky just said it recently. Makes all the sense in the world. Becky Lynch, Toni Storm.
Yep.
There's a lot of interesting like women's matchups. I think like I like there's a Statlander match, I'm sure, because a lot of people's favorite match is going to be with Statlander at this point.
Yeah. What do you give it to? Charlotte?
There's a few. Yeah, Charlotte Statlander makes a lot of sense. Man, Rhea Statlander makes a lot of sense as well.
Rhea Statlander. The women might have the better side because, like, thinking of EO.
I feel like EO. There's a few of them over there for her. EO Sheeta would be really good. I think. I think you could really do a whole women's show off of like WWE AEW matchups because I mean, you've got a Willow match in there.
Willow
with, and I feel like there's a few of them. You got a Willow Bianca match you can get out of there. There's a Willow Bailey match in there. There's
Willow and Bailey is insane. I never thought about that one. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think Rhea and Jamie Hayter match. Like, there's so many different combinations that would fucking bang over there. Asuka still in the mix.
Dragunov, because I've seen people mention Dragunov. Dragunov is a guy I'm just like, you sure you want to stay over there forever, Dragunov? It's okay, man. I don't know.
After seeing how stupid ass Brock Lesnar did, but even beyond that, how the people were talking about what Brock Lesnar did, I was like, I don't think they respect your authority over here. I don't think they respect who you really are over here, because the fans are talking crazy about you, and you're one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Yeah, I think with the way that Brody looked after this week, Brody in the mix with like somebody like Oba or Gunther would be fire. Brody in the mix with Jacob Fatu, or like there's a few Brody ones over there that could be fire.
Yes, Brody and Jacob. What's the Osprey match? We never got on an Osprey match.
Well, funny enough, that could also be the Rollins match based on like the internet stuff and just like
true. I mean, the Rollins one. Yeah. Wait, who did you say for Rollins? Oh, you said Swerve.
Swerve.
That's hilarious. Oh, damn. Hangman. There's still a bunch of Darby. Like, damn, there's still a bunch of people on the other side.
Hangman's another potential Roman match. But I think if you're like trying to do like the star power match, it's Kenny by far. There's
Star
nobody
power.
else.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say the Punk match. I know a lot of people are going to say Jack. Jack makes a lot of sense based on, you know, the history here. It's not the match that I would want to see.
No.
But
I mean, we never got the Kenny match while he was there. That's probably another one. If it wasn't Kenny and Roman, that's probably what I would want. Kenny and Punk.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, Punk is such an interesting conversation with AEW matches that are still left on the table. Yeah, I don't know if the Jack one is high on my list. I know people want it for the controversy.
I'm chill.
I think if you're gonna do the Jack match, I think at this point, Drew versus Jack would make more sense to me. I would be more interested in that. But I know people want to do the whole real glass and all the rest of this stuff, and I'm just like, I guess.
Yeah, I think there's still a multitude of matches that could be created. Again, this will never happen in life, but that would be fun.
Yeah, I saw someone say Javon Kevin Knight. I was like, who, buddy? Sign me up. I would be here for Javon versus Kevin Knight.
Javon, I think Mello could be in a good match over there. Shit. There's a lot, honestly. Appreciate that, cinematics. BR 82186 says obligatory F Ice, fuck Trump and WWE. Triple K for being around this man like he's Diddy and 95.
Yeah, y'all be this Triple K thing. Yeah, the stuff yesterday, like nobody should be surprised that this very racist man is racist. I can't believe that we're still doing the debate on whether this guy is racist. We're trying to do it was a White House staffer that did it. I'm just like, guys, he's done this before where he blamed one of his employees. It wasn't me, even though you continuously do other racist things. Yeah. Nobody should be surprised by any of that.
He would never. He was hacked. He was not hacked. Nobody else is running this. He did like 25 to 30 tweets. What about them other ones? Like just for that one tweet, somebody got into his account and got this shit off. Yes. All right. Terrible human being. It's just we're at such a terrible place of like, you're drawing the line now because you think he's racist and you weren't drawing the line with these other shit we saw. Like, I just don't. I'm like, dog, I read some of the worst things I ever read in my life in some of these Epstein files. And people are like, how could he share this racist meme? I'm like, this is the least of our worries, I think.
Yeah, no, this guy is terrible. He's been terrible for a long time. Like I said, if you do your research on this guy, he has a history of being racist. I don't know why people are still trying to act surprised by this, why we're still having this debate of whether he is or isn't. All I know is this guy's president of the United States, and if a regular citizen of this country tweeted that same meme, they could have gotten fired for their job, and there's no consequences for any of this.
There's nothing. They're just like, oh, talk about something else. It's essentially what they were telling everybody that's asking about it. Oh, no, we don't care about that. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. That's
Yeah.
great. Very cool place to live here, you guys. What's going on? Like, just knowing that, like, the leader of the free world is a racist man, and all of his staffers believe in the shit he believes in, and all of his followers be on that shit too. It's like, this is cool. I like this. Very cool. Appreciate that, bro. Ben Simpner says, MLCK Jr. Fuck Ice. Fuck Acme.
I don't know what the acronym is, but
No, me neither. He also says, I am sure Triple K loved the line, the Cody line.
oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
We live
I
in
saw a lot
a
of people
wild
that were
place.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people making jokes after this whole thing, and I was just like, leave me out of it.
Leave me out.
You know, no. You know, the song, it just keeps popping off. Take me through that. Take me through that. Nah, as soon as that's playing and that's happening, I cut it off. Cut everything off. I don't want to be over there. I don't want to be through there. No, let me nah.
Do not take me through there.
Do not take me through there. I'm cool at home. I'm chilling.
Way too many moments this week, this year, Phil, where I'm like, I want zero parts of this. I don't want this. Just leave me out. I'm staying over here.
It's so funny every time I hear that song, and it's different hearing it like somewhere and then hearing it out. That's why I'd be like, when people are like, who's listening to these songs? And I'm like, are y'all going out? Because I've been outside and that song comes on and it's different.
Mm-hmm. Outside does hit different. People don't understand.
It's songs hit different when you're outside. That's why like everybody keeps saying, oh, Drake is over, bro. I've been outside recently when some Drake songs have came on.
Still the same.
not entirely the same as it was, but it still gets the job done.
I was saying still the same because the people that it's targeted and marketed to, they don't care. They're still out there shaking ass. So yeah. I'm like, I think it's working out for them.
Yeah, it was a little bit of nasty work going on in the rollout for this Cole album. Your boy Act played a snippet from Drake, and I was just like, yeah, I thought that was your friend, but you're gonna try and step on his rollout, I guess. Well, you know, why not?
Just a nasty guy. There's they got issues though. They definitely, Cole was saying some things in there that leads me to believe he feels a different way.
There was a little pow going back and forth. There's a little pow going back and forth. Your boy Maul was like, he's got to explain why he didn't apologize for certain things. He's got to explain his actions to Drake, and I'm just like, these are two grown men, right? Like, what are we doing? Super grown.
And like, if I'm Drake and I feel that way, explain it to me, dog. I don't need you making records to explain it to them.
No, I'm good.
And like, what do we deserve to be included in the group chat, Maul? You better apologize to all. Like, what are you saying?
Why are you getting so emotional about this? What's going on? Yeah, Orion Act is compromised. Did you see that thing this week where he admitted he got paid to say good things?
What?
You didn't see that? So he got slapped by that dude that was in Lil Baby's camp, right?
I saw that.
And so he came out and was trashing all of these people in Lil Baby's camp, saying, if I'm lying, I'll give you the money back that you paid me to say good things about your album and your rollout. And I was like, so we're just admitting that there's pay to play here, which
that?
People already knew. And he just had that interview with with Rocky, and Rocky called him out on it, and he tried to laugh it away. He was like, "Man, I could tell you're paid to do things because it ain't even like you just post things you like anymore. You are like constantly putting all this drama out there." And he was like, "Nah, nah." Rocky was like serious though, and like a few days later, he admitted that thing on stream. I'm like, okay, so you're just gonna outright admit you're getting paid? All right, nobody should take this guy seriously ever again.
Wow, super compromised, and his whole thing was just like, it's not like that. I'm in these rooms for this, blah blah blah. He's always spinning around what the true thing is, and people have been saying this for a long time. Oh, you only talk highly about people that fucking pay you, and for him to admit that, wow, downfall. It well deserved. Terrible guy.
I think we knew though. I think he just confirmed what we knew.
He was mad. Boy was mad talking about getting slapped.
Yeah, then it turned into Internet Tough Guy Act, which is like, I don't have no interest in none of this, dog. Just cut it out.
I'll send my address and you ain't pull up. I'm like, I don't even know why you're talking like this, dog.
Yeah. One of many things at this point that Kendrick just said as a line in a song has come out to be true because he absolutely told us the act is compromised.
Shut it down. People are still going to listen to him. Appreciate that, Ben. The homie Sal Cruz says, can't believe the senator of my state tweeted at Tony Khan to bring in Bad Bunny for an appearance. Fuck Ice to hell. He works somewhere already, don't he?
That would be very funny if they brought in. Yeah, I don't know if he's technically on contract with WWE, so I don't know if he could do that. But yeah, boy, that would be interesting. I don't know if Bad Bunny even has interest in doing that, but that'd be interesting.
I don't know. It kind of feels like at this point he's like, I wanted to try this and I tried it. Like, we're good here. But I mean, what the fuck do I know? Like, people keep bringing up, since the performance, the Super Bowl's happening tomorrow, the match he had with Damian Priest in Puerto Rico, and like that entrance is fucking top notch. So I understand people being like, bring him back, because like if you can recreate that, I totally understand.
Yeah.
Sal also says, James Harden be moving like a pro wrestler in the 80s. Oh, it's time to move on to the next territory.
Bro. This is just it now. All of those people tweeting about like what the nightlife scene is going to be like in Cleveland now. Hilarious, bro. This is just his career now. He's not going to win anything. This is just the lore around James Harden now. Him just going somewhere and fucking up some comments, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, it feels like the homie AD might be in worse position than even James Harden. At least James Harden can stay on a team for some time without getting traded in the same damn year. Like, this is some nasty work going on here for like, I don't know. People like recently somebody on a panel was like, Anthony is a top 75 player of all time. And I'm like, I don't know if I'd say all that. Would you say all that?
If he could stay healthy, yes. But now at this point, he can't stay healthy, and boy, this makes that Lakers trade to Dallas look so much worse. It looks so much worse. It was already a bad trade, but he didn't even make it a full season. He didn't play a full season. Did make a full season before they traded him. And now they're already talking about with the Wizards, he's going to set out the rest of the season.
Dog.
Yeah.
Sad case for like, could have been in the history books with some different circumstances, feel like, with rings with different circumstances, you know?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah. That was always the big question mark when he went to LA. I kept asking, like, if he can stay healthy, he's the X factor, because he could potentially be the best player on that team when he's healthy, but are you going to get a healthy AD ever again at this point? I don't know. And that's kind of the same thing with Zion. Like, are you going to get a full season out of this guy? That's always the question.
when that ball grazed AD's hand and he was out or whatever, I was like, I don't. It's hard out here, man.
Well, look, he got a championship.
You did.
So he'll be able to hang his hat on that. And I felt like he legitimately should have been higher in the conversation for MVP at least one of those seasons with the Lakers, but this is about it.
People are going to talk bad about him. Even though he got a ring.
Of course. I watched those games. And again, at one point, that guy had the potential, stat-wise and everything, to be considered the best player on that team.
Yeah. Hopefully get us together, man. I mean, he still is he's still playing. He's still on teams. He could not be, nobody could want him, so there's that.
Yeah, I definitely saw when out of all the bad trades the Bulls made, which, Jesus Christ, all the bad trades that this team made, people were like, oh, maybe they're clearing space for AD. And I was like, please, no. Why on earth would you want AD at this point in his career? And then it turned into, oh, well, maybe they're clearing space for Zion. Please, no. Oh, my God, no. And, the Giannis sweepstakes is still a thing. We're getting past the trade deadline. He's not going to get traded from Milwaukee, but he's not long for Milwaukee. He is not going to be in that city much longer. But, yeah, even that, when people are like, oh, he's coming to the Bulls, I was like, I don't know. But, yeah, Bulls managed to trade most of the people that I really liked on his team. Hometown favorite, Io DeSumo, who has never played anywhere else than Chicago. Played here in college, and they traded him. I was very upset about that. Traded Kobe White, traded Vucevic. I don't know what this team is anymore. It doesn't even feel like they're a team that's trying to tank. I don't know what they're doing. I just don't get it.
Shout out to the Bulls. There's some turmoil going on there. My team was in talks. Draymond's on the trade block. There was some talk of Giannis potentially hanging his hat over here. So I went through a range of emotions this week, but it feels like we're about to ride out the rest of the season and see what the fuck happens. Cause I don't know, but basketball's been thrown into a fucking loop, Phil. I just keep looking at them rings that the Warriors got and being like, those are nice rings. I don't know if any more are coming anytime soon.
Look, it was a fun time, bro.
Yeah.
Had a dynasty. So you can say that, but yeah. All of this stuff, there were a lot of trades being done, and none of them really seemed that interesting. It was just a lot of players moving, and it's just like, I don't really care about any of this stuff.
No. Nothing was floating, any boats.
Sell the team, Reinsdorf. Sell the fucking team, Reinsdorf. Enough. Let me have peace in my life. Sell this goddamn team.
Enough. I appreciate that, Sal. Van Twinblade says, Trevor said nothing wrong, but they made him IC champ. They jobbed his ass out to Logan Paul. Rick should have been world champion. Also, fuck guys. Third is Buddy gonna screw Brody next week.
Now, we haven't seen Buddy in a bit. That would be a great surprise if Buddy pulled up in Australia.
Oh, yeah, it's in Australia. That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hadn't even really thought about it. I guess that is a way for them to have Brody lose and get some heat on Buddy. I just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. That card so far for Grand Slam Australia is looking pretty good.
Yeah, should be pretty fun. Looks like a super fun show. I love Brian and Dave's video of being like, it's on Valentine's Day. What are they? Why would they book a show on Valentine's Day? I'm like, it's AEW fans are going to be fine. I don't think people are like loaded with dates. They got to get outside. It'll be okay, Dave. It'll be just like any other Saturday.
Buddy, getting on Twitter and seeing Dave responded to Righteous Reg, I died laughing. I was like, what is this? Why Dave responded to Reg?
Me too. I got on and I was like, wait, there's some extra notifications in here. And I scrolled down. I'm like, Dave Meltzer. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
And here come Dave with the stats and facts. I'm like, Dave, I was just doing a bit, dog.
I was just saying. I thought it's funny that you think that all of these wrestling fans are going on dates. But that's it.
That's all the joke was, Dave. I know there's a lot of competition. I know that. Oh, shout out to Dave. Shout out to Big Dave. That's the homie. Appreciate that, Van Twin Blade. Daffy AIW says WWE knows some indie stars will get over more than their hometown stars, especially if they're on Roman's level, so they purposely suppress those indie stars. Trying to think of yeah. I mean, thinking of like the Motor City Machine Guns, they're not really indie stars, but like they're along that line of like these guys could probably be more over if they didn't. WWE always has this we didn't make you, still kind of has that we didn't make you, so we kind of have to play you in a different way than if you were a homegrown stars. So, I mean, I understand.
Yeah, we got to remake you in our image thing over there. They do that quite often.
And it sucks. But it might work out. I mean, some people, people have been in my mentions being like, where was Hobbs this week? Where was Hobbs this week? I don't fucking know. What do you want from me?
Why are they asking you? Why are they asking you like you personally know where he is? It's only been a week, guys. Royal Rumble was last Saturday.
Is it? I mean, yes, but also like my biggest fear is it's like it's happening on TV. Like Oba's on squashing niggas. Like he's the big new gigantic toy in town, and I'm like, is there a land where you can exist in this same universe? Like I'm watching myself, you know?
Yeah, I thought they should have at least did something. I mean, I know that Royce was in like all the replay stuff that they aired from the Rumble, but maybe they should have aired like a vignette or something for him.
Just like, hey, remember this guy that debuted? He's still here. But you know, they move how they move.
Yeah.
The homie Ben also says WWE is a cult, period. I can't tell people what makes them happy, but it's still a cult.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of fandom, it's turning into that. People are just way, way too invested, way too emotionally invested.
Like they were mad at, what's the homegirl's name? Kelly Kincaid or something. She used to be in Ring of Honor. Then she was in WWE and Evolve. And she announced that when her contract is up, she's going to be gone. And I saw a lot of people being like, why are you even announcing this? Don't be talking. I was like, what?
Because she wants to get hired other places. She's letting people know I'm available. It's not deeper than that. And I saw someone saying, I don't even know what you did. And she gave the great response, Google is free. Like, why are you even in this conversation? If like, people are so weird, man. What are you so upset about? Why are y'all so mad?
I want to let people know beyond this that they can hire me. But that's like the craziest thing in the world for people. I'm like, what? What's going on here? Why did people start doing this?
Yeah, like when people don't leave their job in regular life, they don't announce, hey, I'm leaving my job. I lost my job, or I'm trying to get a new job. I'm confused.
People on Twitter where you don't even know what job they have get on to announce they're leaving their job, and you don't even know them. They're just like, oh yeah, quit my job at 3. Like, and that's just what people do.
Yeah.
So funny. Appreciate that, Ben. The homie Aaron Busby says the big 3 are now rebranded as the main 3 characters of hip hop. One is on God mode, the second is going into the sunset, and the third is on an island by himself.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, man, you gotta. It's gonna be very interesting when this Iceman album drops. I don't know. I'm kind of ready to shut everything down. I don't want any more Kendrick discourse.
We can't, dude. Like, we've squeezed all the juice out of the lemon. Like, we've made cakes out of the scraps. Like, we've exhausted every option. These guys are on a different shit. Kendrick's winning Grammys now. Like, let's stop.
Yeah.
But we won't. Appreciate that, Busby. They're on Busby's butt all the time because of who he is. He's in this cold discourse too. I'm like, this is just, it's too much. Appreciate that, Buzz. Glizzy God says, screw the plans. You have an incredible moment to capitalize on. Give Brody the world title, Tony Khan, you coward. And as always, chingla la migra.
Yeah, I see a lot of people saying that, but I don't know. I wouldn't be mad at it. I just don't see it happening.
It doesn't have to be forever. As I always say with things like this could be a few months. We could still move into the directions we need to, but like, let's have a little surprise. People never try anything.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Glizzy. Metal Death says, I don't blame the news outlets on how too many people are blind to anything that isn't WWE and its close MAGA ties.
Yeah. And you know, it's wrestling. You know, a lot of people from the outside looking in still see wrestling as very lowbrow entertainment. And so they're looking at it like, oh, I know exactly what kind of people are watching wrestling and who they probably vote for.
I mean, anytime that I tell people in the regular world what things that I do, podcasting and writing, and I'm in the wrestling media, essentially, they look at me like I have three heads. So I totally understand. Still, in this day and age, they're like, you still be like, it's always so funny when I say pro wrestling and they go like the WWE, it never fails. And I'm like, yes. Yes, I'm talking about the WWE. And then they're like, have you heard about what they've been doing? And I'm like, yes. It's bad, Phil. Because look, Mr. McMahon, the specials on Netflix, like these articles are all coming out. Like saying you're in the wrestling business looks crazy to some people. They're like, why are you involved in that? Are you wild? And I'm like, no.
Yeah, what do you think about this Mr. McMahon thing? It's just like, I don't want to talk about
that. He's horrible. And then I just try to move forward. That's it. But yeah, I get it. Appreciate that, Metal Death. The homie Deontay Soigné says, this has been a hell and funny week. The same folks yelling about women booking, clapping at Raheem Rhodes. All jokes relax. Amazing graps this week. Elsewhere, especially Indies, J-Cup, Stardom, West Coast Pro. All love y'all.
Yeah. I saw people making very funny comparisons with the things that people were laughing at last night and the things that they were upset about earlier in the week. And I was just like, you know, it's okay. I'm just going to see myself out. It's all right.
I love that contrast tweet we were laughing about of AEW has fuck ice chants and they're on all these news outlets, and WWE is Cody Rhodes calling himself Raheem. I'm like, it's a, you know,
during Black History Month.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Appreciate that. Oh, Deontay also says, above all, fuck ice. Y'all be safe as always.
Appreciate you as always, Deontay.
Yep. Who also has one more and says, seeing MJF get his ass beat, good stuff. Loved it. Yeah. MJF needs to get his comeuppance in moments more like this, because he's done this before where he's talked the talent down. They've been in the feud. He gets over on them on the mic, and then he just wins the match. This time, like, he talked all that shit. He told Brody who he was and who he thought he was, and Brody got to come up immediately. I mean, he didn't beat him for his world championship, but he still embarrassed him, and he could beat him for his world championship.
Yes.
Appreciate that, Deontay. Adrian Carpenter says, why should any black talent sign with WWE knowing they support this president? Phil?
That's the question, man. I don't know, but you know, some people just don't see it that way.
I wish I had the answer. I don't know, man. Morals are different. Some people feel like working over there doesn't reflect on them, and that's okay, right, Phil?
I
I
mean,
don't
it's
know.
not just that's not just black wrestlers, just in general. People
That's
that work
just
over
people in
there,
general. Yeah.
they don't feel like the ties to this administration affect them. Somebody, I saw someone say that they tuned in to AJ Styles on Stephanie's podcast just to see what AJ would say, and they want to like kind of like trying to get a read of if he's going to keep wrestling, what's he going to do next. And they were saying within the first few minutes of the show, Stephanie was like trashing the United States education system, and I was just like,
Oh,
yeah. Which of course her mother is.
I mean, her mom. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Mm,
That stinks. I mean,
yeah.
but I know I came out of this week thinking AJ Styles is definitely wrestling somewhere else.
Yeah, I know people were like, "Well, he did this podcast now, so much for him going somewhere else." So I wouldn't say that quite yet.
I'm like, did you listen to the podcast? Because he's saying a lot in the podcast.
Yeah, I think he's just like, oh, I still gotta fulfill some obligations. Let me do these things. I don't think that means that he's not still possibly going somewhere else.
No. And the lingo in there, he was even on some never say never shit. The way that CM Punk, I love that Punk had that little quote where he's like, yeah, me and AJ talked, but I'm not about to tell you what the fuck he said. But the way that he said it was like, he's about to be out of here.
This guy, man, I'm talking about somebody that enjoys stirring the pot at every chance he can. Yeah, he talked to me about it, but that's none of you guys' business. Then why'd you bring it up, man? Like, what are you doing?
He told me some really good stuff, but I wouldn't tell you. And we're like, well, why didn't you? Not even mad at it. The homie Devil Kazuya says, Kit Wilson and Oba super over on Maine is cool to see.
Yeah, seeing his entrance yesterday, I was like, hey, probably would have did pretty well in Royal Rumble. I don't know why they didn't use him over there. And he kind of referenced it, but yeah, maybe should have used Kit Wilson in the Rumble.
I mean, I would think anybody who has a super over entrance, which is their bid at this point, is going to be in the Royal Rumble, and they're going to really emphasize that. So I was surprised about that. But yeah, if you got an over entrance, like that's 60% of the battle as a WWE superstar at this point.
Yep.
Appreciate that, Devil. Ben also says Acme is Arturas and Mark, who should be fired from the Bulls.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, get these guys out of here, man.
Definitely appreciate that, Ben. Tyrone Kidd says the only answer is Kingston Fatu. Oh, for the Forbidden Door, Eddie Kingston and Jacob Fatu. That is a dope ass fight.
That would be a dope one. Gotta get Darby in the match. I feel like putting him in there with a big man that could throw him around and like let him get like his big crazy looking bumps off would be dope.
I mean, that could be the Gunther match. That might be kind of nasty.
Gunther Darby would be kind of fire. Gunther
Right?
Orange Cassidy, I think, would be really fire too.
Oh, Gunther and Orange Cassidy is a really good bit because Cassidy doing his thing and Gunther chopping him.
Yeah. Orange Cassidy not taking the match seriously, doing his kicks, and Gunther like gets mad and hulks up on him. That would be pretty great.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where Kevin Owens stands at this point, but I think him and Eddie Kingston also is a good fight for me. So,
yeah.
Appreciate that, Tyrone. That's a good match. Ben also says Reinsdorf has an agreement with the new owner of the White Sox. When he passes, he can't leave the Bulls to his son. His son is incompetent.
Yeah. If you non-Chicagoans don't know, Reinsdorf owns both the White Sox and the Bulls.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So he's just causing turmoil for everybody over there.
Yeah. Sox are also not a good team at the moment. Haven't been a good team in quite a while.
Whew. So this Reinsdorf guy can't go outside pretty much. They're throwing hot dogs at him.
He's pretty wealthy. He can go wherever he wants, but yeah.
It stinks. He better get it together. I appreciate that, Ben. Ooh, Kimchi Ooh says, as a minority owner, my biggest issue with the WWE is how people could work for a company with the history and current history of treating minorities so poorly. Again, some people are like, that has nothing to do with me. Is that where I think how they approach this, which is.
Well, I mean, it's a very American experience because, I mean, when you just look at the idea of being an American, the very idea of the American dream was not really meant for all of us. And like a lot of the promises of this country was not meant for all of us. But a lot of us, because we live here, we want it to work out for us. We want these things to change, even though there's no evidence that that's going to be the case.
It's going to be different for me. That's how a lot of minorities move. I know a lot of the Latino homies, that's kind of how that's what their thing is. Like, they're not going to treat me like that. A lot of black people in my life are like, I'm going to do this because maybe it'll be different. Maybe that's the thing. The American dream is still out there, Phil. So people think they can achieve it. You know what I mean? They're still like, well, it's still possible. It still could be done. So I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
But yeah, super American. Sometimes you got to go into a place because I have rent, dog. I don't know what the fuck you want from me.
Unfortunately.
Worst thing, my landlord don't care about none of this ice shit. He's like, where's your rent money at, dog? Like,
Rent?
Oh, your company's terrible. Do you have your rent? Yes or no?
Exactly.
So yeah, not taking up for anybody. Like I wouldn't work for WWE, but they're not offering me a big giant contract. So who knows? Orion Ben says, I want that Kid Bandit Omega match more now. If you know, you know.
Yeah, I'm surprised that hasn't happened anywhere. I don't know.
Some matches are just in the lexicon. Maybe they will happen. Who knows? Appreciate that, Orion. Oh, Darian Pittman says, I know I'm late, but I think Braun versus Fletcher would be fire. Salute to both you brothers.
Braun Fletcher would be heat.
Damn, I forgot about Fletcher, too. Damn, AEW's got a sick-ass lineup of people like Pac. Who would Pac wrestle?
Fletcher got a few of those, man.
Fletcher and Braun is pretty heat. I think Fletcher and Oba's heat. Like all of the new guys. Fletcher and Gunther's heat. Like Dragunov. Like run down the list.
I think Pac Finn Balor makes a lot of sense too.
Oh yeah, old friends. Yeah. That's why for a minute I thought when Finn was having contract talks or something, like maybe his homeboy will convince him to come over here, but he didn't.
He ain't show up. Valuable lesson, man. You got to grow up.
One day. Appreciate that, Darren. And then Single Blue Nut the Panda said, who is worse, Jerry Reinsdorf or James Dolan?
James Dolan. Reinsdorf at least has 6 championships under his belt. Right. What has James Dolan done for the New York Knicks? It's Dolan. I mean, Reinsdorf is pretty bad, but it's James Dolan.
If you got rings, they talk about you different. That's just how it is, and that's how it's going to be.
And I mean, yeah, you could argue how much credit does Reinsdorf really deserve for those 6 championships, but regardless, he has 6 championships, and he brought this organization 6 championships when they had no championships. So yeah,
he got 1 or 2 with the Sox too, because the Sox won what 10 years ago or something like that.
05?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like 05.
Yeah, so rings. That's what matters.
Yeah.
That's all of our super chats. Thank you guys.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. We got some Humper chats here. Got some from Humper Chats regular Tony P. AEW had a really big week because the Vegas sickos were being themselves. They helped send an important message. Also, bravo to all involved in it, from Brody, MJF, Bryce, the announce team. They all recognized this was a real moment and let it happen. Well done. Bryce also was, I think he was doing something as well to benefit people affected by ICE. I know he tweeted something about it. I'm just drawing a blank on it at the moment. Yeah, salute to all of those people. I do think it's funny that people have been so down on the Vegas crowds for AEW shows at Double or Nothing, and all these people are praising the Vegas crowd now coming out of this Wednesday show.
As someone who was in all of those Vegas crowds, I've got the slander. And that was another thing that kind of surprised me because, like, sometimes the Vegas crowd is sitting on their hands. Like, the West Coast crowds are very interesting because we get early shows, but there's also something else connected to it where we can't really get into it. And so it was great to see Vegas do it like that.
Yeah. More from Tony P says, some observations related to that moment. Wrestling still has a stigma along with its fans. The number of accounts that still felt like it was a product consumed by only rednecks was clear. You can see and understand why WWE was undervalued for years. Yeah, that's why I was saying, people still see it as very carny, lowbrow entertainment. So some people see it as just like, oh, it's a bunch of, rednecks watching it. People keep treating it like it's like a big monster truck rally or something. It's hilarious.
That's exactly what they think it is. Like, grave diggers there. Things are exactly the same. Yeah. It is exactly what it is. Did you see this bit, Phil? Because I just thought of the word fake. One of the ladies that was in the entourage for the Andrade thing on Wednesday.
I saw.
Apparently, if you guys didn't see, one of the ladies that was a part of Andrade's thing is an OnlyFans model, I guess what they said. And she posted an Instagram with a picture of the show saying, "This is so fake." And so people were mad at her. I guess she deactivated her social media because wrestling fans are the fucking worst. But yeah, that's happened. So I understood why the first couple of weeks they just had an independent women's wrestler there, because you don't get situations like this.
I just don't understand why this is such a big deal. It's a OnlyFans model or just somebody that's not linked to wrestling, just tweeting something. And I think it was like an IG story or something. Mm-hmm. But why is this such a big deal? People getting so upset about this, and I'm just like, are you gonna just police what everybody posts about wrestling? Who cares, bro? I just like, and I think just even the idea of this, that you're now saying that wrestling fans are more annoying than porn fans, like, that's crazy. Being dubbed more annoying than like the pay pigs that are paying her for OnlyFans is crazy.
She deals with some of the most disgusting humans in the world, requesting some nasty things on her OnlyFans page. She went to one wrestling show and was like, "Nah, I can't. I can't.
Let me shut all this down. These people are crazy. Like, that's wild."
She was like, bro, you know what? Maybe this shit ain't for me. And that's what when wrestling fans do that, that's crazy.
Hey, you gotta imagine, like, when somebody has an OnlyFans, I mean, people send women crazy shit in general.
Absolutely.
But you got OnlyFans, and people are looking at, like, the way you treat sex workers. She might be looking at it like, nah, homeboy sent me a hammer pic, like, but nah, these wrestling fans are crazy. Like, I seen some dick pics. I whatever. That's a regular. I can just delete that. But these people just won't leave me alone.
See, that's the thing. The fools will chill. Like, if you're like, "Oh, give me $30," and they're like, I'm not trying to do this. The wrestling fans won't stop. They'll be in your OnlyFans chat. They're in your social media chat. They're talking shit on YouTube. Like, they're fucking relentless. And this is why when Kat Denning said she liked wrestling for 2 minutes, and then she was like, "Actually, I don't really like wrestling. You guys are fucking weird." This is the thing that always happens.
Yeah. And of course, not downplaying sending women dick pics. Please don't do that, guys. Don't send women unsolicited dick pics. But just the idea of this woman that has probably gotten a lot of unsolicited crazy stuff in her DMs or wherever else. Like, these wrestling fans, though, like, y'all are the real crazy people. Leave me alone.
The unsolicited DZ senders. What y'all on? What y'all on?
Don't do
That's
that.
all I want to know. What are
That's
y'all
insane
on?
work. Don't do that. That's
When
insane work, bro.
when I moved to Oakland and I broke up with my girlfriend of 6 years and I started going on dating apps, and these women are like, "Don't send me a dick pic." I'm like, I wasn't planning on it, but I've learned that men are just doing this. Like the women are saying this for a reason, because men are just like, "Hi," and they're like, "Hi," and then the next message is their dick, and it's like, that's crazy, dog. What's going on here?
That is nuts. That's nuts behavior, guys. Please don't do that.
A person you don't know, you've known them, you just swiped right on them 4 minutes ago, and you're already like, "Here's the dick." That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. But that's also why I'm like, bro, like it's some wild people out here. But like these wrestling fans, like,
and yeah, she was still like, they're not crazy compared to wrestling fans, so.
At least they're paying me, and at least these people that are demeaning me in a different way, like I'm getting paid, but like these people are like, I don't know.
I've almost shut this shit down 20 times with the way people be talking. I'm like, you can't talk to me like that. What's wrong with these wrestling fans getting crazy?
Yeah. Yeah.
That saying, Phil, about people never being punched in the face or whatever, that's rings so true. Like that's just what
100,000%. 100% facts. I meant to mention this earlier, but the big scuttlebutt coming out of New Japan, Hiromu Takahashi is leaving the company.
What is going on over there?
Yeah, this is following the report that Evil is also leaving. And as big of a part of New Japan as Evil was last year in the House of Torture stuff, this guy was just in the G1 Climax Finals, had a pretty big match at Wrestle Kingdom with Aaron Wolf. Yep. He was leaving. And yeah, Hiromu Takahashi is the latest name. Sonata is also taking a leave, I believe. So there's a pattern of LIJ guys that I think is hard to ignore at this point. Clearly, it seems like at least like the OG LIG guys are following Naito on the way out. We don't know what Takahashi is going to end up doing. There were some reports that he could end up going to Noah, just like Bushi and Naito. Dave seems to think that there is at least a possibility that he could be going to WWE, because there's also reports that Evil is going to WWE. I don't know what that looks like. That sounds crazy. Evil in WWE is just like, what? It's the same thing with Takahashi. Like, I just don't even know where someone like Hiromu Takahashi fits in with WWE. I think it's also pretty troubling that we've seen a few times now. It's not that easy to make that jump from junior heavyweight to heavyweight. I think out of anybody in that junior heavyweight division that could have made the jump and had been an impressive heavyweight and had like the charisma and everything, it should have been Hiromu. And Absolutely. So I'm surprised he didn't really have much motion. I know he had like the tag run and stuff with Naito, but I thought maybe this year or last year would be the year that he really made his mark at the heavyweight, and it didn't happen.
He's such an interesting case, Phil, because I feel like there was a moment when he had like the most crossover appeal of like almost any New Japan guy. And this is when Okada was there, Tanahashi was there. Like he was just, American fans were taking to him. What he was doing felt like it was revolutionary. His run as the IWGP Junior champion, like so many amazing moments. And it felt like he was so synonymous with New Japan. It's like, this is shocking. The Evil thing, I think, feels even more shocking though, because Evil feels so like weird. Such a like New Japan wrestler, New Japan top guy. I'm always gonna be one of the heels that's set up for greatness, essentially. And like when Okada left and Nakamura left, when they announced Nakamura in NXT, it was like, okay, I could see it. Like there's some connection that I know Nakamura could make with the American fans. not saying Evil can't do that, but that's in my brain. I was like, Evil trying to what? My brain couldn't even comprehend what he would do in WWE. Takahashi, he's such a dynamic wrestler. I think you can insert him in a couple different things, insert him in a couple different divisions, tag team or lightweight. That I think he'd work out, and just with how he presents himself and his personality, he feels a little bit like he'd work out a little bit more if the WWE thing did happen. Will it happen? I don't know. I think back to how Naito talked during the retirement when he came out for Tanahashi's retirement, and the way he was talking about New Japan, it felt like I didn't feel good about it. And so like these things continue to happen, and I'm like, what's going on back there? Because it used to be the foreign wrestlers, the gaijins, they're the ones that were talking about leaving, and that makes sense. But like, these are New Japan fucking legends at this point, and they're gone, and I'm just confused about it.
Yeah, something clearly happened with Naito. There's more to his exit than people understand, and I think the fact that all of the other LIJ guys, other than Tsuji and Shingo, are making a jump. That's very interesting, and they're all doing it around the same time. I don't know what that means. But yeah, I just cannot imagine Evil and Takahashi as U.S. wrestlers wrestling in WWE. I have no idea what that looks like.
All I want is for them to, if Evil's going to NXT, I want them to remix Ethan Page's theme, but it's Evil instead. Evil. That's like the only good thing that could come out of this, I think.
Bro. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna do, but just like I'm sure there's gonna be like a rename or a repackaging of him. But yeah,
what is it gonna be like? Dastardly or like
Dastardly?
Here comes Dastardly. He's pissed. I don't know. It's gonna
Diabolical.
Here comes Diabolical. He's on his way to the ring. But yeah, I don't.
They should just bring back the what do you call it, the bad man theme for him. Bad man, and that just pops up on the screen. Bad.
He's just bad. They've been talking for a long time about expansion to other regions and NXT Japan and this shit. Is that a thing still, Phil, you think?
I think they still, of course, want to try to make a foothold in Japan. It's just going to be so hard for them to do that. There's so much culture around wrestling in Japan. I just don't see it. I don't see it happening.
Like the way that they're using AAA to infiltrate Mexico. I don't know if Japan would be the same way. Like, I'm still think that Mexico is going to reject some certain points because it's not their authentic shit. And I think Japan is the same. I think Japan's going to be like, we do our own thing over here. Why are you trying to do this?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm sure we're going to get updates on Takahashi and some other New Japan wrestlers that have contracts coming up. David Finley's been in the news a lot because of that recently. Clark Connor, they're saying Clark Connor signed with AEW. I don't know if that's been made official anywhere, but that's the report.
He on TV?
Clark was just on Dynamite Wednesday, so I don't know. Could be.
We talked about during Wrestle Kingdom time the future of New Japan and what it's about to look like and who are they going to go after. It's about to look crazy. Like Gabe Kidd's been in the talks too. It's like they could potentially lose like 5, 6, 7 of their main guys in like 2 months or something. And that is damaging.
Yeah. So we'll see where this goes. Mm-hmm. Very interesting times, man. My gut kind of tells me that Takahashi's probably going to end up in Noah, but
yeah,
we'll see.
Shout to Noah.
Yeah. And then, WWE has a relationship with Noah, at least a partnership with Noah. So
yeah,
a totally different landscape than we were looking at 10 years ago.
Wrestling is fucking weird, you guys. Like Takahashi and Evil, they could end up in WWE. That's an option, and it didn't. It wasn't like that. It's just like that now. So weird.
Yeah. More from Tony P. Tony P says, plus the jokes about Triple H that were shot off about how he would have handled the fuck ice chance. Good job on that, people. However, can we all stand up and show some love for the number one sicko of this all, the light-skinned kingpin, Ricochet, your petty of the week winner? There was really nobody else that could win.
Far and away.
This was Ricochet's week. He took the ball, went ISO, put up 50. Legacy game for him on Twitter.
And he's in people's mentions too, Phil. Like, he don't just say his little tweets and go up. Now he's responding to people, like he's making points, like he going for it.
Yeah, it's triple-double, no assists, bro. He getting all his shots off. He rebounding, putting it back in.
Straight up. There was a story that came out, a fake story or something, where somebody was like, people in AEW are mad how Ricochet's talking, and Ricochet quote tweeted and said, no, they ain't.
I've seen some of his replies, and they're hilarious. That when that very strange guy that has been crashing out on Twitter was making that big to do about burner accounts, and Ricochet was like, no, I'm Tony Khan's burner account, and then he started tweeting like Tony Khan. Hilarious, man.
I think, like, if you don't take that away from this, of like, you saw Ricochet in WWE and you saw the opportunities, and he wasn't this guy, and you see this guy and you're like, well, why are you complaining? Because I could have been this guy, you know? And I'm like,
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it seems like he's having a lot of fun with this Twitter stuff, and people that are legitimately getting mad, I just maybe you should just calm down and log off. It's all right.
Log off.
More from Tony P. says he really gave no fucks this week while sounding off on his genuine feelings and experiences about his time with WWE. He has said this stuff before, but the way super hardcore WWE fans / trolls were super in their feels about it was funny. Tony also says the more they said, he gave them something more to be mad about. Then they really got mad when he started talking about Finn, Sammy, and Shin. Then Jeremy with the perfect tweet, the Oprah C gif. Say that was Ricochet now after Shin lost last night. Yeah, it definitely had that. It had that in the middle of a tantrum feeling of it. Oh, y'all, you mad? I'm gonna give you something to cry about. I'll really give you something to cry about. You upset? I got something for you.
Absolutely. Just petty. And that's why he won petty of the week, because he just kept responding to niggas with it.
Yes. Guess like we got some more Humper chats. I'm gonna get into those in a few. Biggest talking point this week. Main event segment of WWE Raw. Roman Reigns, the 2025 Royal Rumble winner, showed up to Raw to what we assume let us know who was going to be his opponent at WrestleMania. He did the entire Roman aesthetic at this point. We got to film him getting out of his car and his Carhartt jacket and his Jordans on and everything. Took off his jacket and walked to the ring because now it's time to go to work. He did the whole spiel, and he started it by playing to the crowd, asking the crowd who did they want to see him face. He could face Drew McIntyre, current WWE Undisputed Champion, or he could face a man that he's been linked to for about 12 years at this point, and CM Punk. And the crowd immediately let him know that they want the CM Punk match. That is the big money match. Despite what I said last week about, how are they going to figure this out with the way that Roman Reigns has talked about the World Heavyweight Championship like it was beneath him since its inception. They got to it pretty quick. This is a blockbuster match. This really was the big blockbuster match for Punk coming back into this company in 2023. I said at one point, it's possibly the biggest match of our generation when you consider what Punk represented at one point and the divide between Punk and Roman fans, and everything that has been said between these guys for the past 12 years. This is a big, massive match for WWE. If you're not going to be able to do the Rock match at WrestleMania, this is the second biggest match you have. That might sound like hyperbole, but it really is. Because, I mean, when this segment was going on, I was really sitting thinking about where I was the first time I heard the Art of Wrestling podcast. I ended up working the day after after Thanksgiving. And there was nobody in the office. So I'm like in the office doing busy work and listening to this podcast in my earphones and like thinking like, you can say that, which is crazy now. I mean, we're going to go back and think about like that Colt Cabana interview as like one of the greatest pro wrestling interviews of all time. And just like how influential it was, like the way it's quoted and how so many people have really taken Colt's sauce and ran with it. Like the exit interview run that Talk is Jericho went on, that came from Colt Cabana and Punk. And the way that people leave a company and go and talk to a podcaster and do a big interview now, a lot of that was influenced by Punk going and doing the Art of Wrestling podcast. And if you would have told me back then, listening to that podcast, A, that Punk would ever come back to wrestling, or that B, he would be wrestling Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, I would have been just like, I don't know how that's possible after everything he said in this interview. But here we are. There's a lot to chew on here. I did an article for Bleacher Report this week on the complete timeline of these guys on-screen and off-screen rivalry. And there's a lot. There's a lot. If you just think it's, hey, these are two guys that had Paul Heyman as their manager at one point. No, it goes very far deep with these two men. I'm very curious to see how much they're going to be allowed to get into on WWE programming, because they just scratched the surface this Monday. I still have the same take that I thought last week, by the way.
Yeah.
If you're going to do this feud, do it. Take the gloves off. Don't do these safe promos. Get into it. And I mean, I think they eventually got there by the end of this promo on Monday, but boy, did it take a long time to get there. I thought the segment was too long. I think they could have really condensed this. I didn't really need all of the catchphrases and like trying to play to the crowd. Well, who do you guys think?
Well, let's see this. Playing the mic to the crowd and shit. Yeah, kind of.
Because Roman did it once, and then Punk came out and did it again, and I was just like, did we need it twice? And then you got to put your catchphrases in there, and it's just like, I think what people want for this segment, and like I said, we got to it by the end, is they want it to feel real. And if you're still trying to do all of these like pro wrestling tropes around it, I'm not interested in that. But once we got to it, and there was some cap on both sides. There's some cap. There's some lying. But hey, man, what are raps without some lies, bro? It's like some of the best rappers, some of the best talkers in the history of this business are liars. And so there were some lies being told here. And I was like, okay, it's fine. We're getting lies off. But here we are. Punk trying to get his, hey, man, you're a part-timer, man. I'm just like, but
you're a part-timer, dude.
You're kind of a part-timer at this point, too. And you're trying to say that I'm less of a part-timer than you are. But I'm just like, I guess.
And like after that part, like we just saw Roman for 4 straight years where we could not see him. You know what I mean? So it's like, what?
Yeah. I thought it was funny that people didn't get what Punk was saying when he said, yeah, you learned from me because I went on this year-long reign and then you went on a 4-year reign. So it's good that you learned from me. And people are like, yeah, but this 4-year reign is better. And I was like, Art of Wrestling podcast. What did Punk tell you on that podcast? He said, the Shield was my idea. They stole my idea, made it their idea. I didn't want Liaki. I wanted Chris Hero. And then when they told me we're going to get Chris Hero, it's like, okay, well, that makes sense. That's their guy. They want the pretty one in the group. He can join and learn from me. I thought it was pretty clear that that's what he was referencing. And the fact that that's what set him off, that's what set Roman off, and he got mad. I was like, yeah, because it's a reference from that podcast.
Yeah.
And once we got there, that's when I thought the promo got better, because once Roman stopped doing the usual stuff and he stopped doing his passive aggressive stuff, that's when we really got to it. Because I've been waiting, because Roman has really been in his passive aggressive bag with Punk for about 5 years now. If you go all the way back to the week or so before Punk debuted with AEW and people thought he was coming back, he did the Ariel Wani interview, and that's when he said Punk wasn't a needle mover, and that's how we got the needle mover shirt and all this. And I'm like, yeah, Punk's coming back, and you're going to do this passive aggressive thing to step on his return. And then he came back and showed you that you're wrong, that he is a needle mover, and you're just still clearly salty with him about this podcast. But Roman as a heel is so different, because as a babyface, he couldn't say any of these things. And I'm sure there was a company edict of, we don't talk about that guy over here. But Roman as a heel, he's willing to get off all of these jabs at him. So he's been really throwing shots at this guy for about 4 years at this point. Every time he does an interview, it feels like he has some like veiled shot at Punk that people may not have caught. Or he'll just outright say, oh yeah, that guy said some things about me, made my life harder. Don't like that guy. So yeah, I've been waiting for you to just outright say the truth for a long time. So when he finally got to the stinger of this promo and said, hey man, I'm choosing you, not because you're the biggest star, not because this is Netflix, not because I want this championship that I've called a second prize for 2 years now. No, I hate you. I've always hated you. And at WrestleMania, I'm finally going to beat you. And I was like, yes, that's it. We're here now. Because if you remember last week, I was like, how do you set up that match and ignore the fact that he clearly does not care about that championship? And this is the best way to do it. It ain't about the championship to him.
Yep.
No, I hate you. And it made it even better that it happened in Philadelphia. If you know, you know. If you remember, that's where Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble in 2015 at Wells Fargo Center, got booed out of the building. And from his perspective, and a lot of people in that bubble, they blame Punk because they think he went over there, did that podcast with his best buddy, and it's your fault why the fans rejected me, because you went on there and said, make Roman strong, and how you had to put me over in the TLC match, blah, blah, blah. So this is your fault. You made my career that much harder, even though I've main evented 10 WrestleManias.
That's my favorite part. That podcast ruined my life, Phil. I can't believe you would go on that podcast and talk that shit about me. I'm the longest fucking reigning champion of this generation, 10 WrestleManias. I'm coming back again to main event of WrestleMania, but it was so hard for me. Yeah, part of this, I was like, when it was starting, like you said, Phil, I was like, if they're going to do this, I don't even want it. Like, if we're going to fucking break dance through the shit and not get to the shit, I'm chill. When Roman was like, I could win anything, I can main event any show, I'm going to take that belt because you're holding it and I don't fucking like you, that's when I was like, okay, we're good. When he was like, you know, the reason why you're back is because they asked me about it. They went through me first before they got to you, which I think is bullshit, but it's a great bit of him being like, if you want to come over here, you got to go through me. And so I like all of that of like, you came back into a house that I built. Like, the reason that you could even have a big contract, the reason that you could have the fanfare of what you did is because of me and because of my family and because of what we did. Roman talking that shit, I think, is great because he's right. Like, listen, it's lit over here. The seasons changed because of what the bloodline did, because of you being on top. There's a little bit of cap in there because Roman, again, just based off the Royal Rumble shit of being like, I left and none of these guys did anything in my absence and I have to come and save it again. But it's like, that's not the complete story. And that's kind of, again, that's what a lot of the Punk stuff felt like, was like, you're talking shit and you're telling this, but you're not really telling the complete story. And like the fact that Punk coming back helps you too, and like the feuds and the Seth Rollins stuff and all of this, you benefit off of all this, and like you being a top guy, you get to reap all the benefits of what went down here. I liked a lot of it. I think they got to the point that they needed to get to. And I just hope they keep the kitty gloves off, Phil. That's the only thing. It's like, I don't want this to be like some sanitized WWE bullshit. When they got real beef, when they got real history, when they got real elements that could be added onto this story.
You have so much material here, a ton of material. But that's why I like Punk doing the, you learned from me. And I absolutely think he said that on purpose to get under his skin. Because I saw people saying, do you really believe, like, what is the status on them? I can totally believe at this point it's a work. They probably had a conversation since he went back. Because to what Roman is saying, they probably talked to him when they knew they were going to bring Punk back. Are you okay with this guy coming back? Are you okay with doing business because of the history with you guys? And then he probably had a conversation with him.
Yes.
But is it also still very believable that Roman hates this guy and has hated this guy for a long time? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Very believable. And that's why it works so well. So him bringing up that part of, you know why you're here. You know why you're even getting a second chance is because they came and talked to me. If I wasn't okay with it, you wouldn't even be here, which is a great flip on what Punk tried to say about Roman to begin with. Hey, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have gotten a Shield. You wouldn't have bought any of this, which may or may not be true, but Roman just flipped it on his head. Like, no, bro, this isn't 2011. This isn't 2012. You ain't the man around here. I am. You're here because of me. Don't get this confused. You may be holding that belt, but you're only holding that belt because I said it was okay. That all is good, but everything, Roman getting emotional and getting mad at the end and walking off, and Punk had that smirk, and it had the it very much felt like battle rap. Look at you, emotional.
Emotional.
You getting all emotional. You getting all hurt. Oh, you ruined my life. You made my life so much harder. Did I? Because at every turn when I came back to wrestling, you were talking about me. I never mentioned you. Ever. At every turn, you are still taking all these shots at me. I don't have to take a shot at you. You're talking about me. You keep saying I ain't a needle mover. I don't matter. This don't matter. Why are you so mad then?
Yeah. Acting real sensitive, honestly.
I ain't a star. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Okay. Why are you on my show then?
Yeah.
This is my show, and make no mistake about it. You can say you want this match with me at WrestleMania because you hate me. You want that match with me at WrestleMania because I'm a needle mover.
Yeah.
Stop playing.
Because it's marquee.
Stop playing these games, bro. You know it. Heyman knows it. The people in the back know it. Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, everybody, the way that people reacted to this on Monday, Phil, is why they did this match. Everybody was like, this is why you have to have two big stars against each other. Nobody else matters. This is the reason, which I hated. This is the reason why Roman won the Royal Rumble. Phil, don't you think they could have did this exact same bit without Roman winning the Royal Rumble?
Yes. They very much could have, but I think it adds an interesting wrinkle to it. I don't think he needed to win the Rumble. I think it just adds more to the idea of Roman is trying to erase the last bit of shame of his first Royal Rumble win in the first half of his career away. And that has a lot to do with why he wants this Punk match as well, because this is one of the last big obstacles for him. Like, he's beaten legend after legend, Undertaker, John Cena, Brock Lesnar. He's beaten all the guys you need to beat. The last guy that started this era of people booing me and everything that came with people wanting Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan instead of me was you. The person that got on an interview and said that, oh, I had to make him look strong. Like, the reason why you guys like him is because of micromanagement. Beating you will silence those people forever. Oh, this is the guy y'all listened to 14 years ago. This is the guy that y'all thought was better than me. This is the voice of the voiceless. Hey, he came right back over here and got right back in line, told the company line, and when we get to WrestleMania, I'm gonna pin him in front of y'all and show you he's nothing.
Mm-hmm. That is a good element. I like that bit.
Yeah, all really good storytelling. But like I said, don't give me these cookie cutter promos. Get to it. Like I said, if you hate this guy, I don't want to see any of this cinema stuff. I don't want to see any of these like save cookie, bro. Get to it, man. It's so much stuff to be said between you and this guy. I do think it's very funny, like you said, that he is still going with this whole that podcast though. It made it so much harder for me, man. You went over there on your best friend's podcast. Oh, you mean the guy that this company dragged in and out of court and they're not even friends anymore?
No best friends anymore.
Oh, well, you just, fans were mean to you for a few years, but, you just lost one of your best friends, lost time and money that you're never, ever going to get back. But that was so hard on me, though.
Fired on your wedding day.
Bro.
You had to go to a different company, but it was real. Like, they were booing me, though, man. It was hard. It was so hard.
Yeah, and I think the thing that doesn't help Roman out of character, and I thought he did well by the end of this promo. The thing that doesn't help him is, like I said earlier, when he's like, I had to pry this away from the legends, and I had to come in and take it. Who are you trying to prove that to?
Yeah.
who are you talking to? Who are you trying to tell that? Like,
right. Yeah.
What are you still hurt about? You're the guy. You're the man. You did it.
The tribal chief, the one. And he's still like, but what about my accolades? And we're like, dog, we know. You got the accolades.
But nothing was given to me. I had to take it. Why are you still trying to prove Punk wrong? Why are you still trying to prove all those fans wrong from a decade ago?
Right. Right.
Like, what? And the crazy thing about it is, I don't care what you say. I don't care what you've done since then. We all know how it looks. Yeah. We all know how it has always looked. It has always looked like you're their guy, no matter what happens, no matter how much we boo you, no matter what you go out there and say that we don't like, they're still going to push you.
It all comes down to how many times. How many times did they try, Roman? Because there should have been times when it was over. There was some suffer and succotash. There were some bits where we're like, we should get this guy out of here. But they kept trying. And that's what it's really about.
Yeah, so it is what it is at this point. That you've got legions of people that love you no matter what you do. This is the most popular you've ever been. Why are you still trying to fight them allegations, though? But it don't matter no more. It don't matter no more. Right. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. You're heading into WrestleMania main event number 11, the most in company history. Mm-hmm. You're cemented at this point, but you're still mad about. Then the biggest lies he got off in this boy, and I laughed very hard at this when he was just like, "Oh man, you came back and tried to brainwash my family, and you tried to turn them against me. No, you turned them against you. Nobody treated your family worse than you did over the last 5 years, buddy." Mm-hmm. Jay went to a completely different brand to find success because of you. Nobody else. No, you were mad because all those guys were like, hey, this guy's chill. We've been listening to what you said about this guy's Thanksgiving dinner for 12 years at this point. Oh, he's kind of cool. I like this guy.
They're like teaming up with them and shit.
Yeah, same thing. We're Jay back there hanging out with Cody. Hey, man, this dude's all right. Mm-hmm. No, what it is them guys is going somewhere else and having fun, and you're just like, well, wait a minute. What about me?
Yeah.
Again, what you really mad at? Why can't you admit in all of this bloodline stuff and tribal chief stuff that you're wrong? Because you still haven't admitted that. You still haven't apologized for any of that. But then you're trying to tell people, oh, Punk brainwashed my family. Oh, you mean the people that you had doing your bidding and helping you keep your championship for 4 years?
Them people.
Yeah, again, what you really mad at, Roman? You ain't mad at Punk. Mm-mm. What are you really mad at? I don't know.
Still, after all the accolades, he's still like, but still, you guys, listen to this. Listen what I did, and nobody helped me. None of my family. I was the one. And it's like, all right, dog, I hear you.
Bro, Punk wasn't in that Rumble, Little Bro and Jay. He didn't throw him out the ring.
Nope.
That was you.
Yep.
Yeah. And I didn't understand it at first because I had to watch the segment twice, but I think Punk very much did it on purpose. He came right out there, ignored everything Roman was saying, and was like, hey, Finn Balor, if you want a match, that's all you had to say. Completely walked past him, and you can see Roman in the background like, is he serious right now? Ignored everything he said, just like he's been doing for the past 5 years. None of what you're saying matters to me. All you heard about what I said on a podcast, that was 12 years ago. That was a Tuesday. You still talking about that? Yeah. I don't even talk to Colt no more, dog. No. You still heard about that?
Just like you did at Saudi, huh? Like, wait, you guys are mad about that thing that happened so long ago? We're on to different things now.
You still talking about that? Bro, I got a G-Wagon outside. Like, hey, watch out. Let me get by you. Like, what are you talking about, dog?
Watch out.
Watch out, dog. My lady called me, man. I'm going home, dog. What is this about, dog?
Very emotional.
Hey, Finn, you want a match?
Yeah.
Cause I ain't trying to hear none of this that Roman's talking about. Hey, Finn, what's up? You want a match? Like, and that's when he first got under his skin. And you can see the longer and longer the segment went on, he just kept getting under his skin. It's just like, yeah, nah, you just got good at promos. I've been doing this, dog. Yeah. You late. You think you can play mind games because you did this stuff with your family for 4 years? Hey, man, that ain't nothing to me. I convinced the whole company that I was about to take their championship to WWE. You playing with the wrong bro. You playing with the real devil out here, dog. Like, you think you the devil. Yeah, because you played some games here, dog. Hey, stop playing with me, man.
Right. Yeah. And Roman has to, like, because the people this week were like, Roman won, Roman did this. I was like, but he has to keep this up until WrestleMania. And I don't know if he can, like, Punk is going to have shit every week. And I don't know if Roman's going to be the same, you know?
He's got but the thing is, Roman has a lot of material on Punk, but he has so much material on you as well. Mm-hmm. And I think people think that he doesn't, but he does. No. I mean, just the fact that people think that he won the segment, because he's like, oh, he ate him up by the end. That guy was standing there unbothered by the end of that segment. He threw the mic down. He all huffing, walking out the ring.
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, one guy stormed off. I don't know who won what. Like,
yeah. Hey, and last year we had all this talk about, oh, well, Punk finally got his WrestleMania main event. It was night one. It wasn't for a championship. Hey, you gave me what I wanted. I wanted the main event WrestleMania. I told you guys for a decade this was the last thing I wanted to do. Last time I was walking into WrestleMania as champion, your family beat me and got this match with John Cena, and it was one of the most frustrating things of my career. Oh, now you threaten me with a good time, being able to walk into WrestleMania as champion and have the biggest match of my career. Thanks. That's exactly what I wanted. Oh, you could have took the easy route out and went over there and wrestled Drew McIntyre, but I just trolled you and got what I wanted, and you didn't even figure out that's what I was doing.
And CM Punk does not have to win at all. He's going in as world champion to the main event. You got it. That's it. That's all. That's what the fucking podcast was about.
Still don't get it. He still don't get it because he's still trying to convince us it's not true. Hey, man, I'm going to go to WrestleMania and make you look strong, dog. Don't worry about it.
Yep. Even in this, I felt like that's what even the promo was, Phil. The promo was like, go out there and make Roman look strong. Make sure the words that he says hit hard.
Dog. Cole trying to come out afterwards and say, that was a pipe bomb. Who you fooling?
That wasn't a pipe bomb. Come on.
Who y'all trying to fool, man? I know y'all keep trying to convince us, and Punk has gone over there and eaten all his crow since he's gone back. I know y'all keep trying to tell us that Roman running, the Punk run in 2011 wasn't special, but we were there.
Yeah.
We were there.
We were there. Yeah.
I know y'all keep trying to tell us everything about that was manufactured by you guys. That wasn't him. We were there.
Do they?
We were there.
I don't know if it's WWE or somebody back there. Do they think that they're going to embarrass CM Punk? I think the time for embarrassing CM Punk is out, right? Like, it doesn't matter if you bring up him being a hypocrite at this point, right?
The funny thing about this is, like I said, he's eaten crow at every turn since he's been back over there. And that's how I'm pretty sure he's going to lose this match at WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
But at this point, they don't understand what they've conditioned their audience to do. They don't care.
Don't care.
Everything you do to this guy, he will continue to get cheered. I thought after the Saudi Arabia thing, oh, this is the worst he's looked since he's been back over there. That guy came out there at that kickoff show in Saudi Arabia. Them people did not care. They was getting cheered loud. They were singing the theme song. They didn't give a care.
They didn't give a shit. Yeah,
they don't care.
And all of your fans are the same way, dude. It doesn't matter. It's about these moments. It doesn't even matter who wins the match, dude. We're gonna cheer both of you on Raw the next day. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah. What a chain of events. Did not think we would ever get here, but we're here. They put the graphic up last night. It is official. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas, the city where Punk cut the pipe bomb. If he doesn't cut a big promo right before WrestleMania in Vegas, what are we doing?
Because they're going back to the T-Mobile Arena for the shows and everything. Like, come on. The elements are there, brother.
Yeah.
This is it feels good though. I think that, with Roman, these last couple of main events and kind of the talks around him, The Rock and all this feels like a marquee main event, Phil, with real heat that's going to produce good television, and that's really all you could ask for at this point.
Yeah, a lot of people came out of this feeling like this made Drew look like an
and
afterthought.
Cody.
But it's what I've been saying for the longest. They have really positioned Raw on Netflix as the bigger show. SmackDown feels like an afterthought. And in turn, the main champion on SmackDown at this point, even though it's the number one championship in the company, the championship that has been positioned that way all this time, now it's being treated this way. But that's also part of my point that I kept trying to make a long time ago, that it doesn't matter which championship it is. It matters, where is Roman? We're treating Roman like the number one guy in his company. So whatever feud he's in, whatever belt he's challenging for, that's the number one feud. I mean, people forget at the start of this, he was Universal Champion. He wasn't WWE Champion. Yep. But the Universal Championship became the main belt because he was holding it.
Mm-hmm. He won it from like Braun Strowman or something, didn't he? Like it was into obscurity.
Yeah, it was a Braun Bray match, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he interfered in the Braun. That's where he came back at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
but he won it off
Braun.
That's why I'm like, all of this talk about two titles, it's just whoever they deem as the guy. And I think that helps this belt. I know my guy is sitting at home fuming. All the work he did to establish this belt, and it's gonna main event. It's gonna main event a show with two people that he hates.
And they're both gonna drag him on the way up because he didn't catch no strays in this, but he definitely about to catch some strays.
he caught a few strays. There's some talk about whether he'll be ready in time for WrestleMania. At this point, the report is that the match for Braun is going to be Seth Rollins. Very curious if he will be back on time and how that feud is going to work. But yeah, Drew tried to fight back last night. He came back with a few bars. I think it's a little late, but I was at least glad that he addressed it. At least he cut a promo, because if he had just said nothing, I think it would have been much much worse. Um, but at least he made the point of, I'm still holding the number one belt. I'm holding the belt that has all the history and lineage to it. And you can say what you want, but this is still the WWE Championship. All of the guys on this on this channel are gunning for this belt. Which, fair point. The elimination,
Because like the accolades y'all are talking about, the long reigns are with this title right here.
yeah. The Elimination Chamber match is for a match with Drew McIntyre. The qualifying match for next week's SmackDown kind of immediately takes some of the intrigue out of the match, because it's Cody versus Jacob. Yeah.
Versus Sammy.
Yeah, who's the third person in the match? Because it's a triple. Yeah, so you're immediately taking two of the more interesting people that could be going into Elimination Chamber off of the field. Boy, it sure feels like this is going to be just Cody versus Drew at WrestleMania. And we've gotten that match so many times now that I'm not interested in it. I think it makes it much more interesting if it's at least a triple threat. At least put Jacob in it.
Just thinking about that is crazy, though. For where Jake has came and like he has potential, because I saw a lot of that talk this week. Is like he could be added to this match, and like think of him going to WrestleMania to get a WWE Championship match already is wild. But that would make that match something, because like you said, most people are like Cody and Drew again in a singles. Why would we? What's that going to do? I think if you really want to up the level, making it a triple threat match, putting some real heat on it, that's the way to combat what Roman and Punk are going to do. Because if you're trying to compete on that stage, you're not going to. You're going to have to compete in a different way.
Yeah, you're not going to outstar power those two guys.
No.
So you should at least just try to have the better match here. Put Jacob in the mix. And I think that's already a much more interesting match as a triple threat. The beatdown segment that Jacob had this week on SmackDown, I just keep saying, really big fan of this guy. It doesn't matter what he does. He could do something as little as just come out there and stomp on him, and then like dance out of the corner and do all of his facial expressions and everything. And I'm just like, yeah, nah. You got it with this guy. Just get to it. We've both thought this when Melo and Trick was on NXT. So I thought it was very funny that I noticed it again this week on SmackDown. Trick's the guy they really want to push. Yeah. It's so apparent. Yeah. It's so apparent. Out of those two guys, he's the guy that they really want to push. If Trick could wrestle as well as Carmelo, he would be out of here.
He'd be out of here.
Completely out of here. And I mean, he's pretty popular right now, but yeah. The fact that he has had like the segments with Randy Orton, he was in a Rumble this year. Melo wasn't in a Rumble. And then you're looking at like people that are going to be in the mix for the Elimination Chamber match. Trick Williams is already in there. He's coming down in segments talking about the world title. They never did that with Melo. It's just so apparent that this company is still, he's tall. He's got the look we like. And that's it.
Like, yeah, we'll push one of your guys' black favorite black wrestlers. He has to be tall, and he has to be this, and he has, like I said, entrance music and way fans react to it is about 60% of your story, and Trick is already fucking
he got it.
Over
he got the
when
entrance.
That team hit, so it's like,
yeah, he got the entrance. He got the look, and boy, he's looked fantastic coming out with the white suits and the furs.
He looks like a big star.
Yeah, they had him at the game. They had him at the Toronto Raptors game, and I was like, yeah, he looks the part.
Yeah. Which is like good, because, you know, we want somebody that looks like us to get that opportunity. And I hope that it works out for Trick, because he is being pushed in a space that I think he should be.
Yeah. This was like the third or fourth week in a row where I laughed at people being mad at Meltzer for saying something. And I was like, but he's right. because that clip was going around about him talking about Trick and how he was saying, yeah, they should keep his matches to a minimum and play to his strengths. And people were like, oh, I know what this means. And I was like, what do you mean? This has been a wrestling thing for as long as I've been watching wrestling. Accentuate somebody's strengths, disguise their weaknesses. I don't think that Trick is a terrible wrestler, but his strengths is his look and his ability to talk. You should continue to do that as much as possible. I don't know why people were mad at that. Like Meltzer said something wrong. He was right.
And what he said what WWE is going to do. They're not going to all of a sudden start putting Trick in Iron Man matches and start changing the thing. I'm like, that's what's going to happen too. I don't know why people are so mad.
That's what was so funny about it as well, because their fan base and a lot of like very pro WWE podcasters tell us all the time the wrestling part is the least important part. So why are you mad that Meltzer is telling you that this guy don't have to have matches? I'm so confused why they were trying to get mad. And they were trying to make it a race thing with him. I was like, what? What are y'all doing?
Like, wait, on one hand, you guys are telling me matches don't matter, fuck work rate. It's all about being a big star. And then Meltzer's like, yeah, this guy's a big star. Just insinuate more of the big star stuff. And they're like, what? How dare you? And it's like, wait, what? That's what you want, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because again, if it was matches, then get to it with Melo. Like, why? But again, they've shown us time and time again, it don't matter if you can have great matches. That's not what they're looking for.
Yeah.
That's secondary.
How does he look standing in the ring with Randy Orton? That's what's really about. Like, does that look good?
Yes.
Is this like, how are the fans connecting to him? That's what's happening. If Trick is going to check all those boxes, the boxes that they deem top guy worthy, then that's great.
Yeah. 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 That was, again, Meltzer catching a lot of heat for saying something. I'm just like, but I don't think that was egregious at all, but I guess.
No. Now they just think everything Meltzer says is egregious. Like, if you want to live on that place, you can, but it's going to be boring for you.
Dog. It's the playbook over there. WWE continues to tell you, don't listen to this Meltzer guy, don't listen to the Dirt Sheet guy. And so a lot of their very pro WWE podcasters do the exact same thing. That's why when Rosenberg did that whole thing with Alvarez and Meltzer and he was trying to debunk what they were saying, I was like, oh, I know exactly what this is. I see the playbook. And people were like, well, look. And then it turned into, why are they picking on him? Blah. Guys, we've seen this before. We've seen it. It's okay. I know the play. It's okay. We have super chats left. We got a couple of humper chats left before we get out of here.
Yeah, we got one more super chat from the homie Deontay Soignier, who says, "You're in my way in life. Funniest thing Roman ever said. Now, if Rock shows up, I will have my popcorn. No, I won't. But I'm laughing to mania." Yeah, if Rock shows up in this and throws a wrench in all this, Phil, that shit would be the funniest thing in the fucking world.
There is, in my opinion, if you're gonna do Rock Roman at WrestleMania 43, the only way for this to end is at WrestleMania. Roman beats Punk, and he's standing in that ring with the World Heavyweight Championship. Rock comes out there, raises his hand, points to him, and then immediately clotheslines him. That's the move. If you're not doing that, I don't know why. I don't know why. Because you can't tell me that Roman needs the moment. He's had the moment.
He's got it. Yeah.
This don't hurt him at all. That should be the end of all of this, to set up this year-long thing to get to Rock Roman at WrestleMania 43.
Yeah, no, because you're right. The show doesn't have to end with Roman holding the belts up, looking strong, and being the man, because we've already gotten that fucking 20 times at this point.
And he's told you he don't care about that belt. So
Right.
Do some stories with it.
Yeah, I think them running back the playbook of Rock holding his arm up has to be a part of this at some point, you know?
Bro, all of this and Roman being so upset about Royal Rumble 2015 and him pointing at him, and this time the crowd is cheering him, and then Rock clotheslines him and Rock get booed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what you should be doing. If you're not, scrap the entire thing. Throw the rest of this plan out and change it to
that. We will see. But yeah, that's all of our super chats. Thank you guys today.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. We've got some more Humper chats here from Tony P. He says, the good AEW having a good week. They even got an NFL deal. Yeah, they're doing those luchador masks with the NFL logos.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Of course, Tony showed the one off with the Jaguars logo on it. He says the Punk Roman segment, Cinema, MPX/ROH, congrats Athena. Girl fight upcoming card, congrats Billy. SmackDown for being decent, even if it's dragged. Maki versus Aya, free for Stardom's YouTube. It was funny and good. Yeah, what'd you think of your boy Jay Uso taking credit for Cinema?
Is he wrong? I don't think he's wrong. And that's part of the reason why I fucking hate that shit.
I think it was a meme before all this bloodline stuff. I'm pretty sure it was an internet meme way before that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The reason I started hating it though is because they were talking about the bloodline stuff. So I could see why in his brain he would think, we started this gangster shit, this motherfucking thanks I get. I don't know what he was on this week with his little, is this an angle? Like, what is this?
I don't know, man, but I don't know. I don't know if you yelling these things from outside the club looks the way you think it does.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what?
Because look, we're still a second year in a row of your cousin main eventing, and he's the man.
That's what I was gonna say. It feels exactly like Roman talking of like we're fighting from the bottom, but they give you guys everything though. Like you were just in the main event of the show, or just fighting for the world championship last year, dog. Like you guys get whatever you want. Don't try to act like this is some hardship and they don't respect your family. When Roman is talking about your family right now on the main event.
Again, who are you trying to prove this to?
Right.
Who y'all talking to, man? I don't. What's happening? I think people appreciate y'all. I think people fuck with y'all. I'm confused.
Heavy too, dog. There are still people that are like, just make Bloodline the main events. They should still be like how it was. Like a lot of people love every moment of what you guys do. Why y'all acting like y'all still fighting from behind? You're not.
Y'all underdogs. Okay. I guess. Tony says the bad, my heat, whoever pitched that Raheem line in creative, Cody for going with it, especially during Black History Month, which has this company isn't even recognizing that Philly Raw crowd, Julia jobbed and pinned, SmackDown/Drew getting buried by Punk and Roman. Yeah, I heard that I missed it. I have to go back and watch it, but I heard that the tag titles match to start SmackDown was really good.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't see any of that, but I'm sure it banged. The tag team division has been hilarious in all companies, so yeah, I hope they get it together.
the women's tag title stuff has been good for the past few months, and they have been having good matches, so that doesn't surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
And Julia was part of a really good tag team with Tekla at one point, so
she was.
That doesn't surprise me.
She was.
Tony P also said the /what the fuck, AEW signing more women, focus on the current ladies you got, which is a lot. Joe Hendry, that was a choice HBK. Brian getting passed over again, Hiromu gone, and learning he didn't want to go into the heavyweight division, knowing he would have got a push. I didn't read that part that he didn't want to be a heavyweight. That's interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on over there.
Because I kind of earlier when you're talking about it, I started thinking of Kushida again, and I sometimes think I get their timelines a little bit mixed up because Kushida was the one that was like, "Make me a fucking heavyweight, make me into this," and maybe I'm mixing up a few of their timelines.
He wanted to join Bullet Club, and they were like, "No."
Yes.
Yeah. Joe Hendry is the new NXT champion after the ladder match from Wednesday. I thought they were just going to go back to Ricky Saints. I guess not.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting how after last year that Joe wasn't in the Royal Rumble and that the fanfare behind him sits a little bit different. And now it's because they were going to make him an NXT champion. And like, I get it. If you're not going to propel him to the main roster, Phil, like I thought they kind of would, because it feels like they've been setting him up for that. Let him cook in NXT. We talk about how kind of dire the NXT men's division is.
Yeah. I mean, you could have done worse. Joe Hendry is still very popular. It still looks like, hey, we got to build you up to break you down and then build you back up again like they do pretty often. But, yeah, good for Joe. I think we got one more from Tony P. Says, speaking of pushes, someone for Fightful said AEW slowly gaining traction again. AEW could be funny and grab some of these young prospects that fans know are real deal, but WWE is sleeping on them. They could be swayed by AEW, plus pay them more. Yeah, I think that's the best thing about them getting Myron, because Myron's a young guy that I've been saying for the longest should have been signed, and it's still crazy that it took this long to sign him. But glad he got a contract.
He's here now. Finally going to have a match next week. Very excited about seeing that. Yeah, I think that they started a good initiative like Bustin' the Brain Rascals. Like they're starting to sign Maya and High-End. Like they're signing some heavy hitters from the indies, and I think they're just going to continue to do that.
Yes. From D-Lo Diggs, he says, sup everyone, been busy with a lot, but hope everyone's been well and blessed. But Mavs packed AD and got him out. Thank God. Patriots gonna win the Lombardi, and Shams and Windhorse need to shut the fuck up. One love. What they did to you, D-Lo? Too much bad news, I guess. Yeah, I kind of feel the same as you do. I kind of feel like the Patriots are gonna win tomorrow. Could be wrong, boring. But that's kind of how it feels. They're gonna have a tough task with Seattle's defense, but I don't know, man. The idea of Drake May winning a Super Bowl is insane, but could happen. I feel bad for our friend because it felt like this was Denver's year to go to the Super Bowl with the regular season they had. Bo Nixon got injured at the worst time, and I think if Bo would have been healthy, they probably would have beat the Patriots.
Right.
Unfortunate, man.
Damn. Yeah, maybe it might be another one for the Patriots. We'll see.
Yeah. Wouldn't be mad at Seattle winning, but I don't have a dog in this race, guys. I have honestly been a bit bored since my Bears got eliminated.
Only dog I have in this race is it's 45 minutes away from me, the game. That's about it.
Yeah, but Seattle's defense is very impressive, so it's going to be interesting to see what Patriots and Drake May can do with them. Appreciate you, D-Lo. We got another one from Tony P. He says, we are seeing late WCW backstage moves in WWE for real, and not on a damaging level. Still, though, they need to push the youngins. Prayers to families of John, Ref Daphne, and Mike Watts. Love one another. Please win Seattle. Fuck Ice and that racist pedo bastard. Yeah, man. I completely forgot about that. Condolences to Lil John and his family. Very tragic news about his son passing away this week.
Tough.
That's horrible. Referee Daphne as well. Her family, there was a house fire and she lost some family members there. Condolence to her as well. She's got a GoFundMe. If people can donate to her, please give as much as you can. Very, very sad situation. Hopefully she's doing okay.
Yeah, sending love out to Daphne and her fam's unfortunate situation. Her and Leon just had gotten a car accident recently too, so like they're falling on some difficult times. So if you want to support, they have the GoFundMe. Send love out to them during these difficult times. Just unfortunate situations kind of backing up together.
Yeah. We got one from Rafael Garcia. He says, first things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil.
Mm-hmm.
For real, as a Cole
Mm-hmm.
fan and as a guy from North Carolina, this was a North Carolina album that I enjoyed. If this is the last album, it felt like he did it for North Carolina wrestling, I guess. I hate to say it, but I don't think Pam is leaving the Fed. I still have my fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know if it will happen. They're gonna try everything to not get her to, but I still want her to.
Yeah. And then the last one from D-Lo Diggs, he says, also that Grammy tribute was nice. Mad Train wasn't on for Ozzy because his cover of War Pigs is goated. I think you mean T-Pain. Yeah, his cover of War Pigs was goated. But D'Angelo tribute, Chef Kiss, happy for Leon Thompson, but K-Dot took the victory lap. Yeah, Leon Thompson won big.
Yeah, absolutely.
Salute to him.
Mm-hmm.
That song was everywhere last year, so I'm not surprised at all that it was winning. It's just like when Shabuzi won. I was like, nah,
Yeah.
Shabuzi was everywhere last year, so there was no way he wasn't gonna win a Grammy.
Yeah, I would have been questioning what was going on if both of those songs didn't win Grammys, because I couldn't go anywhere outside without hearing at least one of those songs or a remix of those songs or somebody doing karaoke of those songs. Like, those are dominant music pieces this year, and they should be celebrated for that.
Yeah. Just want to double check and make sure we don't have any more before we
Mm-hmm.
give me just a second to refresh. We do. We got two from CM Smiley. She says, afternoon, boys. Hope you are doing well. I'm laughing at the Raheem jokes and getting ready for Benito Bowl, even though apparently we aren't allowed to laugh at Raheem anymore. LOL. I don't care. Hi, Reggie. Hey, man, listen. The worst thing in the world, and this is, I was just telling a friend this, absolutely a trait I got from my dad. The worst thing in the world to me is when I think something is really, really funny and other people don't. Oh, I'm going to laugh even harder and I'm going to enjoy myself even more. So sometimes it's okay. I know that people are probably doing the most with like some of this Raheem thing, but I don't think it's so much so that it's not funny. I just think it's one of those jokes that doesn't belong in front of mixed company.
That's it. You open up the floodgates with it when you do engage. So I understand. But if it's funny to you, Tracy, my friend, I hope you're having a good day. I hope it is funny to you. That's all that matters.
Yeah, just do your Westbrook meme where you're trying not to let other people know you're laughing.
Absolutely. Sometimes I'll be laughing at some shit that I wouldn't laugh at out loud just because, that's the game.
Yeah, no, that's happened multiple times on this podcast where I'm like, oh, I did see that.
Totally seen that.
You got one more for Smiley. She says, wherever Hiromu and Daryl go, I will be right behind them. Damn it. Yeah, appreciate you. Then we got one last one from Current Veronica is not good. Said, I don't care about wrestling news. I am subscribed to Fightful Select for Ask Grapsody. Is that show ever?
Oh, yeah.
Rex, you missed the last episode of Ask Grapsody, so I'll ask you here. Did you watch the newest season of the challenge? Current Anissa, though.
Current Anissa, though. Yeah. Big time. No, I haven't seen the challenge. I wanted to let the whole thing get on, and then I'm going to finally sit down and turn it on. But yeah, I'm a movie guy now, Phil. My life is just movies, and I just don't have any time for TV. It's just movies. Life is movies. Shout out to movies.
Yeah, no, we haven't made an actual announcement, but we haven't done Fightful Select Ask Grapsody. And I think it's because we've been like trying to toy around with the idea of doing like a Q&A on our channel, and
we're trying to move it over to our channel.
So we just haven't decided the day we're gonna do it, but we've been talking about doing like a Q&A live stream on our channel. That's the answer to that.
That is the answer. We want to move it over to the Grapsody thing. That's it. That's all.
So yeah, we'll let you guys know.
Absolutely. We got one more super chat from Will Chisholm, who says, it's not fair how fast Oba is.
bro. Yeah.
He's in his 20s
Every
still?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. They got one,
Damn.
bro. Like, they got one. This guy is amazing.
Just seeing him, like the entrance is 60% and he fucking got it already. But when he locks in and he just feels so uber confident and he feels like a world beater, I'm like, they got one. They got one for real. This is, again, if they don't do it with this guy, they'll never do it.
Yeah, that's all of our Humper Chats. That's all of our Super Chats. Appreciate you guys as always. We will be back next Saturday.
Yep.
Valentine's Day. Yeah. This has been Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey, Righteous Reg. Till next time, we'll see you.
Peace.